What's up? Wes Clark here, one half of the Clark Brothers and co-creator of the new series Groupie, now available on Tubi. I'm here right now with 4 easy steps for you to enjoy this series and support your boy at the same time. Step 1. Download the Tubi app. You can find it in the Play Store, the App Store, or even on Roku, Fire Stick, or any other smart TV. Step 2. Go to the search bar, type in the word Groupie. It should be the first movie that shows up. Step 3. Enjoy the show. And step 4. Make sure you like, add to your favorites, and share with your friends.
You make it sound so easy.
Because it is that easy, Sydney. So go out and support your boy. Check out Groupie, the blueprint of a self-made millionaire.
Are you ready to?
So we have the extended version of the dream sequence right here. Sheldon comes to visit Yoshi in her hotel room after their meeting. Yoshi looks a little nervous at first, but then you see things get a little steamy after he throws her against the wall. And right here, Yoshi thinks she has everything under control because that's how she manipulates men through her sexuality. So in her mind, she has him right where she wants him. You see, that's Yoshi though. She's hot, she's sexy, she's manipulative. She uses sex to get the upper hand on men, get the win no matter what the cost. And as you can see, this is not exactly the result she was looking for. We shot this scene in Atlanta. Chuck Gomez was the director of photography. Great scene, good acting by Zasha and Wilner.
I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Stark. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuzetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanju.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh my God, you're such a...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem.
You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Chastity. the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies.
In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprint, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holla. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation been my only motivation, yeah.
Up, y'all, this is Rayon Lawrence, and you're watching Real Talk with the director.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE network.
Tonight, we are witnessing the biggest shift of entertainment in our lifetime. Or are we? Netflix, the company that killed Blockbuster, has now won the bid for Warner Brothers, the 100-year-old company that bought you titles like Batman, Harry Potter, The Matrix, Looney Tunes, HBO, and the entire DC universe, just to name a few. Unions are threatening lawsuits. Politicians are calling for investigations. Theaters say this could erase 25% of their yearly revenue. Regulators say this might be the monopoly case of the decade. Oh, and AI? That might actually be the real reason Netflix did the deal to begin with. This isn't just a merger. It's a collision between old Hollywood and the streaming future. And tonight, we break down exactly what this means for creators, fans, and the entire movie industry. Real Talk, coming at you next.
You tune in to Real Talk. Film. Facts. And the realness behind the reels. It's the director, Wes Clark. Lights. Camera. Conversation, let's go. We keep it real, that's Real Talk. Breaking down the game, no filter, just talk. From the glasses to the blockbusters. Trust us, you can love us, you can hate us, but don't forget about us. How we keep it real, that's real talk. Breaking down the game, no filter, just heart. From the classes to the blockbusters. Trust us, you can love us, you can hate us, but don't forget about us.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director. Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director.
Hi, this is Monique Free. You're watching Real Talk with the Director.
This is Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director.
Hey, I'm Issa Rae. You're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dalhouse Radio.
We keep it real.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more and nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I am the Director, in case you didn't know. And we'll be with you for the next, 120 minutes or so. Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV, the IE Network, and Facebook, aka Meta, aka the social network. Also on Instagram. Shout out to the Instagram people that's over there right now. We appreciate y'all chiming in. That's what's up. Thank you. So yo, man, thanks, man. Everything. It's funny because when I put this show together, not even 24 hours ago, when I laid out the actual show, there was certain reports that was out about this deal that was going down, and I knew that by the time we broadcast that it was going to change, like things were going to change. So it's right now, things are crazy right now, with this whole Netflix Warner Brothers deal. I mean, essentially Netflix still has the upper hand, so to speak, because they officially have won the bidding war that was going on. So a lot to unpack there. We here at Real Talk, as we always try to do, is bring things clear to you so you guys can understand. Not that you don't understand, but in case you don't, we give you some insight on some of the things, because I mean, this is getting messy. You got Netflix that won the bidding war, and actually essentially is doing the deal to acquire Warner Brothers. But now Paramount, since I created this show, which is probably why it wasn't in my intro, Paramount is now pushing back. Because as you know, they were one of the people that was front runners to possibly acquire them. You know, David Ellison, the Ellison family, all of them, they are, the CEO and all that stuff of Paramount, Skydance, and yeah, and they really was on the verge of. They thought they had got the Saudis involved and the Trump administration and all types of stuff. And then out of nowhere, Netflix swoops in. It's like, yo, listen, we're going to give y'all this amount of money in cash. We're going to break off all your shareholders with damn near $30 a share. Boom, boom, boom. And everybody's going to walk away. And we're going to take that catalog and do what we do. Paramount is like, nah, son, that's not happening. Like, y'all came in and they're crying foul now. So we'll go over. I'm doing my little simplified hood breakdown of it, but you get the point. We'll get a little more into it and break down. There's a lot of when the deal, I spoke to a lot of my colleagues offline, and I've been saying from day one, I mean, not day one, since minute one, since this deal happened, I just didn't feel like it's going to go through. I still feel that way. because it's so much red tape they have to get through. Yes, they got through the initial part. Warner Brothers apparently wants to sell to them because they accepted, they was accepting the offer. But now Paramount has come back and they're trying to at what Hollywood Reporter is calling a hostile takeover offer. So they're now offering over $100 billion in cash to try to seal this deal. So now it's all about what does Warner Brothers want to do? Do they want to go strictly for the cash? And I mean, at the end of the day, when you're Warner Brothers, you when you're Warner Brothers, you obviously want to sell for the highest amount, right? You know, that's what you would think. They were in so much debt leading up to this. You would think that they want to sell for the highest amount, right? So I don't know if I thought that Paramount was offering more from the begin with, but I don't know. We'll break it down together. We'll figure it all out together. And what does this all mean for everyone involved, including the most important people, the consumers, the fans, the people who are going to consume this content. And that's really what it is. The acquisition. We'll get into that. And of course, we started last show. We started a new segment that I call Inside the Writer's Room, where we'll take a specific, whether it's a scene of a movie, an entire movie, or maybe an episode of a series, whatever, television, and I'm gonna do a little breakdown of what made this, from a writing standpoint, what made this a hit, what made it do it, and we're gonna talk about uh, the episode of Stranger Things season 5. They which is the episode 4, is the one that's trending all over the internet. It is one of the most talked about episodes of that series. It's the highest rated on Netflix, I think, of the series right now, that episode. And I want to break down what really the Duffer brothers and their people did to really make that go and make it what it is. And we'll be doing these segments. I'll be doing these segments frequently throughout the show, throughout the year, the different shows. Probably as we get a little closer to awards season, which also, speaking of which, shout out to Ryan Coogler and the cast and crew of Sinners. They've been getting, the award season is just starting to ramp up, and they've been getting a lot of the smaller awards, like the Gotham Awards, this, that, and the the Golden Globes they also had Critics' Choice Awards nominations, Golden Globes, Grammy nominations. Golden Globes have just come out, and if I remember correctly, I'll bring it up. I think they got 7 Golden Globe nominations for Sinners. So shout out to them. You know what I mean? And most definitely, Sinners. So we'll touch on that too. The Golden Globe nominations. It's a lot to unpack, but we appreciate you guys joining us, and let's talk about all this stuff together. Shout out to the chat room, of course. Thank you, everybody that comes through. My man Joseph Tanner over there holding it down as usual. We appreciate you, sir. He's dropping his what is this? What's he dropping in there? The top something. He's always dropping the top something list in there. Pearl Harbor, Patton. I don't know what I'll have to see what it is, but it's Mount Rushmore of war movies. Okay. World War 2 movies. Okay, interesting. Well, when we can get to that on the other side of all the stuff we're talking about, Joseph, and we appreciate you guys holding it down. So the weekend recap brought to you by boxofficemojo.com for the weekend of December 5th through the 7th. Number 5 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Made another 3.5 million over the weekend, bringing the total worldwide to $209.3 million for Now You See. This is the third chapter of this is, it wasn't meant to be a trilogy, but this is the third film in this film series. Cool. I loved it. I saw it, enjoyed it. Number 4 is Jiu-Jitsu Case and Execution. 10.1 million. Right now it's at 40 million and some change. Worldwide, it just came out on December 5th. Number 3 is Wicked for Good, made another 17.4 million, bringing the worldwide total to approximately 440 plus million dollars. That was Wicked for Good. Number 2 is Zootopia 2, which I heard was a good film. I did not get a chance to get my kid out to it yet. She wants to see it. That made $43.4 million over the weekend. It opened on November 26th and it's still making money. It is now closing in on a billy. It's now worldwide $917.9 million. So Zootopia 2 is closing in on a billy. And the number one spot is made 64 million over the weekend. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Five Nights at Freddy 2 made $64 million. Puts it at a worldwide total of $110 million. It just came out on December 5th, and it's already pretty much made its. I'm sure it's made its budget back. I know it didn't cost no $100 million to make Five Nights at Freddy's, so that's good for them. That is your weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com for the weekend of the 5th through the 7th. So yeah, man, horror films have the genre of horror has really been winning this year. We love horror anyway, but it's really been kind of been pushing it and winning this year. Some of the most talked about films this year are horror films. Sinners, I just mentioned, Weapons. These films are some of the most talked about films. So Five Nights at Freddy's, that's another one that people are talking about. So yeah, man, I am the director. This is Jedi Council. I brought them with me. And here they are. Ralph, Kev, y'all in the building. Welcome back, gentlemen. Let's see.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Nothing much. And Weapons, technically speaking, isn't a horror film.
I mean, it's. I think it's listed as a horror film. No, that's what I mean. The genre. I'm just talking about the genre stuff. I know it's not. It's doesn't feel like one. It's horror mystery is actually what it's listed as. Horror / mystery. So
it's a biopic actually. Because it's based on a true story, so it's in my opinion, it's not a horror film. I mean, it was spooky. It had all the spookiness of a horror film, but it was to me, it's just not. It's not a horror film, even though, like I said, it had the spookiness of a horror film. It had a little creepy. And not even jump scares, so to speak, but
There's a couple. It depends on.
Well, I
jump
guess a
scares
couple of
are
jump
subjective.
scares.
Jump scares are
Yeah.
subjective. It depends on who you are.
Yeah.
You might be a
Oh,
jumpy
yeah.
person. So
Yeah.
if you're a jumpy person, then there could be
Jump
quite a
scares,
few
yeah.
jump scares in there. But there were definitely designed jump scares in there, and some of them,
that part I will
some of
agree
them
with.
hit,
Yeah.
some of them don't. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, but for the just generally for the genre, it does fall in that genre. So that's what I mean when I say, because even Sinners to me ain't no horror film. You know what I'm saying? Sinners is not a horror film either to me, but it does represent that genre. So amongst others, because Sinners was a genre bending film. So but yeah, my whole point is just basically
Agreed.
horror films. Yeah, you know what I mean, are really talked about. Some of the most talked about films this year are falling in that category. Horror films, whatever, whatever. And now you have the Five Nights at Freddy's, which people were very much talking about and anticipating part 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So now
my
that's out and it's making money.
grandson enjoyed it. He said he liked it more than the first one.
Yeah, so it's already made its budget back. Yeah, I didn't see it yet either. I didn't even see the first one, honestly. The first one came out. The first one came out simultaneously in the theaters, right? I think it came out. It was one of those releases.
It came in like October, I think, of last year or something like that.
Right, but when it came out, it was released in the theaters, I think, and it was released on streaming because it was available very, very early on streaming. If not,
No. I don't think it was. No, Five Nights at Freddy's didn't come out once, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't come out on streaming until like about 2 months later, about a month or two later. If I'm not mistaken, it wasn't one of those early release directly to streaming right away films. Because I definitely would have saved the trip to the movies to go see it, because I took my grandson to go see it when it first came out back then.
Oh, well, yeah. So it was definitely, like I said, it's a talked about joint, so people were really people really going out and watching this joint. So yeah, man, it's so yeah, like everything. It's funny when I put this show together, I knew when the news came about Netflix winning the bidding war for Warner Brothers. My first reaction was like, I was just like, okay, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. Only because I knew some of the red tape that they have to go through, and things that are it's just not as simple, and I, although I got the breaking news at like 3 something in the morning, I don't want to I didn't want to make a video. I didn't want to make any sort of thing about it, because I don't unlike other people, I don't just make videos to be the first to so-called break the news. I like to be accurate, and I didn't want to, people were putting out videos saying, and there's no shade to nobody, but I'm just keeping it real. Y'all putting out videos saying Netflix acquires Warner Brothers. That is not accurate.
And no, well, if you won't do it, I will. Y'all need to shut the hell up. And as Roland Martin would say it, don't stop putting out information until you have all of the facts. Period.
Right. Yeah. So people, they acquire, but nowadays we're living in a world where no one cares about the truth. They just want to put out whatever they could put out so people could click. It's all about the click.
It's all about the clicks. It's just like back in the day when people used to be like the first BS.
Yeah.
When you as soon as you got some information, or as soon as you got the comment on a website, you would go first. It's like, for what?
Exactly. Exactly. So everyone wants to blah blah. I'm just like, listen. All I saw was Warner Brothers gets bought by Netflix. Netflix acquires Warner Brothers. This, that. It was so many reports just right there. I already knew that you can't report that right away because we all know these deals take time to actually go through. What Netflix actually did was they won the bidding war that was going on with Warner Brothers. And before we get deep into it, I want to bring in another one of our guests. He's our frequent of the show. Welcome back, our boy Tony Perez. What's up, bro?
Hey guys, happy Monday to you guys. Go
Yes,
Chargers.
sir. Go Chargers. Oh yeah, that's right. Chargers.
They're playing the Phillies.
I
Right
know
now
you.
it's 0-0, and they just held the Phillies down. The Eagles down. So,
Yeah.
so I'm excited about that. So I'm watching that in the background.
Listen, man.
But you know what?
I'm on basketball
Tony, what
right
do
now.
you think about the Colts signing Rivers?
Oh, I mean, that's old history. I mean, he got a job and he did what he did for them back then. He did get them to the playoffs, but he did sign a one-day contract so he could retire a Charger. So that was good.
I know, but now it looks like he's going. They bringing him out of retirement to go quarterback the Colts for.
Yeah, they're desperate, man. They lost. I feel bad.
You know what? I have not read that today, and I've been super busy and crazy. I've been getting into trading, so that's been eating up a lot of my time. But I missed your opening. But I assume it's like the back and forth going on with the sale. And I'll tell you what, just from the trader's point of view, I tried to buy the stock, each one, Netflix, Paramount, and Warner Brothers. And dude, it's nothing. It's going down. Like it's not spiking the way you think. And here's the interesting part. Donald Trump said something interesting today. He's like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to approve this or where I'm going to go. He's like, neither Paramount or Netflix are my friends, or even Warner Brothers. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But, we'll see who wants to be my friend.
Oh my God! So
it's
translation,
going down.
Translation, people. Translation.
Pay me off.
Translation. Where's the bread? Who's gonna give me some money? Who's gonna get my?
And you know what?
Share?
I feel like nobody should give him money. Screw him.
He gonna get it. He gonna get it. That's the point. That's the point. This is how.
But you know what? Wait, before we go deeper into this topic, because I got a feeling this is going to get a little bit harebrained. Tony, I would like to. I gotta apologize to you for two things. One, I gotta apologize for calling you a jackass two shows back, because you kind of pushed my button a little bit, and I allowed myself to get a little bit carried away. And I knew that was by design, but it's okay. And the second thing I gotta apologize to you for is about Aliens Predator. Badlands, Predator Badlands. The movie was actually great, bro. I went and saw it on Thanksgiving, and the movie was great. So I owe you those two apologies, and hopefully I won't.
I appreciate you saying, giving me the apologies, because I always show you guys respect. Whether or not I try to push your buttons, there's another thing. I mean that in jest. I don't mean anything, but I always treat you guys, both you guys, with respect. Even when I call Ralph an evil bot, it's meant as a jest. It's not a personal doing or anything like that. So, I mean that as a joke, and it's not a serious thing. And, this is not the view to where people should be getting upset. We're here exchanging, and we all obviously have different opinions, but we should never, ever disrespect each other. That's why, I stayed cool. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was genuinely worried about you being in the hospital. And you kept, going over that. And I'm like, look, as long as in my heart, I kept saying I was worried about you, and that's all that mattered. So
that was part of the that was a little bit of part of my frustration, because I have been in here I've been here since August. No. It's not nothing against you. It's just my frustration with being here in this stupid rehab since since August. That kind of put me on
It's
edge and
wearing
made
on
me a
you.
little made me a little snappy. So again, I apologize, and it was unnecessary.
Well,
I
I
appreciate
completely
that.
apologize for that. Like, I really, I accept it, and I can hear you're sincere. So, just don't let it happen again. And, and the other thing is that, like, I love Wes. I love Wes a lot. So I wasn't going to get into an argument on this show because that would be disrespectful to the man. So, but yeah.
I saw Predators. I was like, it was kind of just like a buddy movie. It was kind of like Lethal Weapon on another planet with a. But it was okay. It was okay.
You know what?
I mean,
It's funny. I was at my banker today, and because I just told him I'm doing trading, so I'm moving stuff around, and I have to get a new bank, and I was talking about this, and we got into the movie thing, and he brought up Predator Badlands, and he's like, "What did you think about it?" And I said, "Oh man, this thing's been a topic of debate for weeks." And I said, "Look, the movie was shot for IMAX, so obviously it had some production value." I said, "A lot of people are not the aficionados of Predator and read the comic books and all these other things, so they don't know the history. This guy literally gave you the history of who they were and all these other things, and it kind of added samurai lore, which is kind of cool on its own." The guy had done, Killers.
Yeah,
He's been
I'm
involved
starting
in
to
other
believe.
things.
I'm starting to believe Tony getting a check from these cats. Boy,
Dude, I just love
lobbying for
whenever.
these
I
cats.
love when they wrap the whole thing around the bow. But then he told me, he goes, "Look, I appreciate you telling me that because he goes, I love the movie, and I was afraid to tell people that I liked it because so many people are down on it." He goes, "But I liked it." I'm like, "Bro, I mean, look, everything that's shot for IMAX can't be that crappy. That's your first thing."
Visually, all of that stuff is gonna be great, but that's a good. You talking about the trading and stuff. That's a great segue to it. Let's get into this because there's a lot to unpack here. First off, what happened? Everybody knows. Just a quick overview. We already know Netflix wins the acquisition bids with 72 billion plus or whatever it was that they were going to be doing with Warner Brothers to acquire Warner Brothers. That includes Warner Brothers Pictures, HBO Max, DC Studios, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, stuff like that. Right? It's coming. It would include that. All of their television and film stuff. So with that being said, it's an historic acquisition if it was to go through. So we have some, that's going to tell you that. Now the thing is this, since I've created this show, which I predicted, Paramount has been pushing back. They was pushing back from minute one, and now they've made a very aggressive offer of over $100 billion that they're offering for the catalog. Right now, I just want to go we'll get to that. But before we get to that, just to give everybody understanding that might be watching and not knowing what why this is not so cut and dry, because I've seen reports of people. Oh my God, you have people not crying, but have people complaining because, oh man, obviously Netflix, mostly Hollywood, people from the Hollywood side, actors and the guilds and the unions, they all are very against Netflix acquiring because of situations they feel that it's gonna hurt the movie industry. And then you got people that, let's just say the DCU fans, they were just trying to figure out, is James Gunn going to be able to keep his job? Then you got the Snyderverse fans. It's like, is the Snyderverse coming back? So it's like so many different questions. and I've been researching this stuff for almost 24 hours straight, and it's just like, obviously all reports are just that, reports, right? We all report and you decide. But I've seen so many different reports. Yes, this and James Gunn's gonna stay there if Netflix intends on keeping him. Netflix intends on releasing the Warner Brothers films that are slated to go into the theaters. They want to keep releasing them, but anything beyond that is a question mark. Ted Sarat, what's his name? Sarandon, whatever his name is. Sarandon, yeah. Ted Sarandon, yeah. He he has clearly said that he really does not believe in the theater market anymore. He feels it's a dying art. It's something.
He's an idiot.
He's a moron. He's a moron.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in that. And like I
said,
Ted,
you guys got to remember where Ted comes from. Ted comes from video. Ted comes from being the ex-CEO of Blockbuster.
Yeah.
He comes from being a buyer of Blockbuster, and before that, Hollywood Video. And he's part of the whole regime of video, DVD, Blu-ray, all that stuff.
But even with that being said, he's still an idiot because why? Go ahead, Ralph.
I come from that time too. I mean, I'm not running Netflix, but I come from the time I used to manage a video store. I went head to head with Blockbusters, and we all know this is very true. When you have a movie that comes into the theaters, and it comes to V8 when they came to VHS, people were much more likely to rent that movie because it was in a theater compared to when there was something that was shot directly.
But
for
the problem is
for home video. That's a proven fact.
The answer to that, well, it was a proven fact. That model is changing though. Because
see, the problem is that
they're not getting what's it called? Advertisement isn't really on television, and it's in the theaters with trailers. But other than that, you'll see the trailer online before you even see it in the theater. Advertising has changed, so the model has changed. And I ask you this: when you were back working at the video store, and I used to frequent Blockbuster all the time, and in the local video store, did you ever really think, and that truthfully, did you ever think that one day this will not be here and we'll all be watching these things by just pressing a button and watching them? More than likely. Go ahead.
No,
question.
No,
no. Me too.
Hey, Ralph, let me give you a little knowledge here. I was a distributor sales rep. I had a base of like 500 video stores regionally in Southern California back in the day. Whatever Blockbuster bought heavy, I'm like, don't get that. Get all these other titles because that's what everybody wants to watch. Black cinema, all these other genres that were out there, Kung Fu, like whatever independent movie came out, I'm like, buy these instead. People are going to come in and look for these because everybody's got Braveheart, like it's like whatever. So I'm like, you got to just. So I always went against that. But when it comes to streaming now.
No, I didn't work for Blockbusters. I worked for the video store I worked for was called Video Takeout. But I was in direct competition with Blockbusters across the street, and you're absolutely right. Blockbusters,
I would tell you guys to buy different than
500 copies of Batman.
Yeah.
Right. But what we did, we would be like maybe 30 copies of Batman, but we went out and bought a lot of the Shaw Brothers martial art movies because Blockbusters didn't carry.
That was me. That was me.
We had
all those martial arts movies you bought. That was me, dude.
Yeah, we had that. We had a lot of older horror movies. Like for example, the face Faces of Death.
Yeah, Faces of Death.
We carry stuff like that.
I remember Faces of Death.
Yeah, that Blockbusters didn't carry.
But you know what? Also to kind of put a kind of piggyback off of what both of you are saying. It was kind of true because there were some things that you couldn't find at Blockbuster that you would find at your smaller video store. Being the fact that some of the smaller video stores would keep up on the trailers that would show on some of the DVD or some of the VHS tapes. That would,
we saw that as a foreign film.
Yeah.
And it was like a huge hit on video and DVD.
What I want to say is this. The reason why I brought this up, I'm going to land the plane here. The reason why I brought this up is because at the end of the day, we never really thought about that while that was going on, right? But guess what? People like Netflix did. That's why they destroyed Blockbuster. That's why they are who they are. So my point is, as much as we don't agree with it, Netflix are forward thinkers. They're thinking 10, 20 years down the line. And they know that, although I'm not saying that, this is from their perspective. From their perspective, they'd rather cater to their quote unquote audience and give them the opportunity to have first rights or first view rights of a film. And because they know that with the economy being so screwed up, movie going is just not the same. It's expensive. It's to go out and have a date night with your significant other is a $200 night. You know what I'm saying, at the movies. So they know that this is going to happen. So they're banking on that and they're looking forward. So just like Blockbuster laughed them out of the building when they said, let's send the DVDs to their house so they ain't got to come out and get them. They got laughed out the building. Then when they switched to the streaming. So they're forward thinkers. That's why he's thinking like that. I'm not saying that you can still say he's an idiot, whatever the case may be, but they are where they are because they're forward thinkers. That's
now, here's the thing, though. I watched their Wall Street, board of directors meeting, and they made good points. But here's the problem with it: is that you're going to have a circle that you're not going to be able to penetrate if you're an independent filmmaker, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, producer, if you're not part of their group, if you're not already a part of their writing team or development, you're screwed out of and if they take over, it's going to be like 45% of the film industry. That's a monster. So you're talking about creative, you're talking about talent.
And I'm going to get into more points about that. And you're right. But I mean, as far as the industry goes, isn't it already kind of like that?
You know what? The funny part is,
it is.
The funny part is,
the reason why I'm saying it is because I am a filmmaker. I'm an independent filmmaker. I have not gotten no deals with a studio lately.
Wait.
Here's the thing, though.
While that has happened,
the last three movies I've made, they all went to Netflix first, and he's like, "Oh, we're not interested. They suck." Sony bought it, Universal bought it, and then PureFlix bought the other one. It's a Christian movie. But dude, at the end of the day, after they did it theatrical, guess who bought them for streaming?
Netflix.
Of course, because Netflix is all about, you have to have some sort of what they call track record.
And there were good deals,
But don't you think? Hold on, Ralph. But don't you think that Netflix is still playing off that same old model? Let's try to get the thing that's coming to streaming the fastest. Let's try to get it because it's just coming out of theaters. Or let's try to secure the rights so as soon as this thing gets out of theaters, we can stream it first. Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Well, it is, but what they're counting on in the future, let's just say, for argument's sake, the deal went through. They're going to still put especially the Warner Brothers movies that are slated to go to the theaters. They're going to put them in the theaters. However, he has been very adamant on, I still want to cater to my audience, because to be quite frank, putting movies in the theaters that they produce, they'll say from the Warner Brothers, one of their brands, you produce a movie that you put money in and produce, put it in the theaters is catering to people outside of their audience that like to go to theaters. But here's
the thing,
I don't agree with that.
You
have
can't
you seen the latest SAG?
That is
the latest SAG producers packet for hiring certain tier of actors and even their agencies. Dude, you go after, let's say, a good friend of mine, Stephen Lang.
Yep.
You got to guarantee a theatrical. And you can't go theatrical unless you guarantee them that it won't hit streaming for 60, 90 days. So you got, on one hand, you got SAGs like, okay, here's your tiers. You got the actors. You can only hire this caliber actor if you go theatrical. And then after that, you got a whole different breakdown for streaming. Oh, are you making this for streaming? Then that's a whole different tier system for that. And then from there, you still got to hit some sort of independent theatrical market. And then that you go deeper. Now they want to know everybody you're dealing with in foreign. Who's your foreign distributor? You can't do this and this and that and have these territories. So you got to have all these things lined up. And so being an independent filmmaker is even tougher now in the days of Netflix, because you can't sell a movie here, sell it to Netflix in Scandinavia, and not tell SAG about this. God forbid SAG knows about it, and then they preach the film for you. SAG's a whole set-aside mob.
Yeah, you know how they go. And I'll say this thing as well. You know, Netflix also obviously have been, you know, they pretty much been doing deals with A-list actors, giving them, you know, whatever, locking them down, giving them deals, and those, you know, these are all of these people, these people that they were giving deals to are theatrical actors, but they're, you know, they're taking these
and
deals.
It's forever deals, like development. We can make your thing here, and you're locked in. So, you making that movie? Oh, you're under contract. We're gonna have you do this.
Look how many movies Eddie Murphy has made for streaming. Eddie Murphy ain't put damn movie in the theater. You know what I mean? He done put out what 4 or 5 movies since he's in the last.
You know what? That is a very good point. Yeah, Eddie Murphy has put out 3 movies that honestly should have been in theaters. Certainly, one of the things that knocked him from getting Best Actor nod for My Name is Dolomite is because it wasn't in the theater, right? Axel F should have went to a theater. It shouldn't have been on streaming, at least not beginning. And I disagree with you.
And it would have done great. It would have done a really good theatrical run.
But I agree with what Tony said. About him. He had 3 movies, right? That Netflix rejected on. Someone else bought it, put it in the theater, and then Netflix went back and bought it. And you said, yeah, because there's no track record. Well, if I make a movie for a theater and you don't put it in the theater, then of course you're not going to have a track record. You can't really tell. As an independent filmmaker, you can't really tell what your audience is like if it goes to a site called like Tubi, for example. You can tell to a certain point. You can't tell overall how your film is going to be interpreted, because if this was 89,
it's all projection.
No, I'm saying because if this was 89 and Netflix was doing this back then, we would have no Spike Lees, we would have no Christopher Nolan, we wouldn't have them.
See,
because
like I said,
we wouldn't have Peter. We wouldn't have Peter Jackson.
You think that? I don't know if you think that I disagree with you, Rob. I don't disagree with you. What I'm telling you is, from Netflix perspective, what they're looking at, forward thinking on their end is thinking about, because bruh, I love all y'all, but our generation is dying off, brother. The generation
Netflix is doing United Artists for the digital age. Remember United Artists back with when it first opened up?
The digital age, man.
Back in the 20s,
that's what I mean by 20, 30, 40 years down the line, when we might be unshuffled off of this great earth, they're marketing to those people that don't give a damn about movies. Really, it's the proof is in the pudding. I know it's something that we love and we'll never stop going to see, but the people who watch their stuff like this with these things in their hands, that is what Netflix thinks about when they think long term. So that's where that is, and we'll get back to that, but I want to go over some of the pros and cons of the deal. Let's just say if it was to go through, we already know pros for them. This is pros really only for Netflix. I don't know if it's for anybody else. Obviously, they have a massive IP vault: Batman, Superman, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all of the rights of that, The Matrix.
Mortal Kombat's all of a sudden really valuable. Notice how they held that release up.
Yep. Global streaming market. Now, here's the interesting part that's really pissing off the unions. Netflix, the AI advantage, Warner Brothers archives would become training data for Netflix AI tools. Because what a lot of people don't know, or just maybe didn't realize, Netflix has a partnership deal with OpenAI. OpenAI is the company that created ChatGPT and Sora and all of that stuff that's the AI stuff. Potentially Netflix could be using the Warner Brothers catalogs to feed into the AI so the AI can learn from it and data train it into
create new stories,
create
make movies without
create
actors
new
or anything like
stories,
that.
create new actors and this, that, and the other, and AI actors. And trust me, bro, I know for us and people from our generation that seems far fetched, but it is not. They're already
No,
accepting
dude.
AI artists. There's AI
Let me,
artists out there that people are listening to.
dude. Let me give you an example. I had a
They are
huge
singing
argument with my
artists.
investor, with my foreign investor for my couple scripts. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking to do this budget. We're going to go virtual studio. My investor got mad. He's like, no, you're not shooting anything in AI.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, the budget's got to be
I
higher.
mean,
And it's
but
like,
it's gonna be high. Like,
he
okay,
goes, I don't want none of this to go
exactly.
to AI.
Yep.
And it was a huge argument.
Yep. So obviously we had the pros. That's their pros. Of the cons, of course, fewer buyers for creators. Wages are threatened. Smaller studios squeezed out. Theatrical decline accelerates. 5,700 screens already closed. We've already know the decline in theaters already is vast, and I know you know that, Tony. And then you got WB films may shift away from theaters. The union panic, fear of AI displacement. Writers fear fewer jobs. Directors fear loss of creative autonomy. All of that stuff comes under that. So now let's get into the specifics of the deal of why I felt from day
Can I
one.
cut in for a little second here?
Go ahead.
I told you I've been doing this 30 days AI schooling and stuff like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I've been doing a massive AI training and deep
so
dive.
I got into the writing part of AI.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I uploaded 2 scripts.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me every mistake I did.
Yep.
It gave me suggestions.
Bye-bye, editors. Bye-bye, editors.
It gave me suggestions. Bro, I turned those scripts in. So before my score was 89, 91, into the coverage meter.
Yeah.
Both those scripts got a 99.5.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the deal. Shout out to my boy Philip. He's another writer. Me and him shared a manager agent, and he has sold films out there to major distribution. He was talking to me about AI, and I said, listen, we know that AI is inevitable. It's here. It's not going anywhere. It is the now. It's not the future. It's the now. And but the problem with people AI gives the power. It gives the power of creativity to people who aren't creative. Now, the people who are creative, you can use it as a great tool, right? And it can help you, just like what Tony just said. And I do the same thing. I'll put a script into the AI and say, hey, break this script down for me. Give me my strengths, my weaknesses. Tell me whatever you ask for, and it'll do it. What does that do? Unfortunately, that's going to kill jobs from editors. Editors are not going to exist anymore because why have one if you're a writer and you got and you're going to pay
editors won't. Editors will not get. Editors will not get wiped out from this. If editors are smart, editors will start using the tool to help them edit.
Well,
I mean, it's just like back in the day
why
when.
pay you to do it when I can do it for myself and have it done in
Well,
like
who's going to do it
5 minutes?
again? Who's going to do it for themselves? Yeah, you will do it for yourself because you
Well,
are independent.
the
But
writer. I mean,
somebody,
like the
but
writer.
somebody from the industry is going to pay somebody, some 20-year-old that understands AI and who specifically understands the
Oh,
editing
that's
of AI.
definitely going to happen. Oh yeah, the 20-year-olds are coming in.
Well, the
Yeah,
20-year-olds, of course, that understand the people that understand it. Yeah, I get that. But what I mean is they're no longer at that point, they're not an editor. They are an AI
but why they
expert.
not? But why they not an editor? Why they not?
They're an
They're
AI
still an
expert.
editor. They're still an editor. They're just using a tool, just like when WordPerfect came out with what was that? What's that called? When they correct a word, or like in Facebook, that other program
Autocorrect.
that corrects your mistakes.
Yeah,
AI is basically
Grammarly.
yeah, Grammarly. AI is going to be basically the same thing.
Nah, well, see,
It's just
that's where
who
I'm just I get
it's
where
just
you're
gonna
going.
they'll understand
I
what I'm
disagree with
saying.
that.
It's just who is going to be the quickest and the first to sit down and say, hey, I understand this AI thing. Hey, hire me to come be your AI editor. Because
Right.
that's what they're gonna be
And
called.
in turn for that, they'll fire 10 editors because
Well,
they
yeah,
only need
exactly. I mean,
that
dude.
one person to do it
I
all.
mean, look,
Because what I'm
right
telling
now,
you is everything that normally
But if
takes
those
an
editors,
editor.
but if those editors are smart, they will make sure that they get a one up on a 20-year-old that's getting ready to come in and start learning the new
Well,
technology. It's just
well,
like anything else.
well, that
If
goes
you're
right
going to
back.
be
You just made my point. That goes right back to what I was saying when I was talking to the other writer the other screenwriter that I know. Anybody,
intercepting
it's not
creditors.
just editors. Anybody, if you are a writer, if you're smart, you will learn these tools to use it to help you, as well as help you turn these things around. Because what's going to happen is when they start implementing AI tools to produce movies, because it's going to happen. Once they start doing it, they need to save time. They need to have it turn around and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, me as a screenwriter, I'm not paying an editor. I don't care how old you are or young you are. I'm gonna learn this stuff myself. I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay an editor. This is just the reality of this. What's
but again,
going
but
down.
again, you're
I'm not
but
gonna pay an
again,
editor for
but
something
again,
that I can have
but
done for like 5 minutes for free.
yeah, but again, you're going to do that because as an independent filmmaker, it's going to make your budgets a lot smaller. It's going to make things go a lot quicker for you. Whereas
Well, I
in the
mean, even as
industry,
writers, though, they're teaching that in schools
but even in the industry, you're still going to have your trained and what's the word I'm looking for? You're trained and your seasoned editors and your seasoned film writers or script writers having to use these tools specifically, even when it comes
It
down
still comes
to
down when
doing
it comes to
works.
writing.
Yeah, when
When it
it
comes to
comes to
writing, it's
writing
going to come
works.
out to original ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
No, that's what I'm
also
saying.
when it comes to converting either comic books or novels or whatever it is, converting them into works of film.
What about
It's gonna help. And if
no,
you're
no,
not if you're
bro?
not smart
Right
enough,
now, the way AI is, bro, that can be done in 10 minutes. You can literally,
again,
I can literally upload a
yeah,
PDF
for
of a
yes,
comic
yeah,
book, right? The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm telling you how simple it is. It's
I
making it
understand
where
how simple it is, and that's my
the
point.
seasoned my point I'm trying to make is the seasoned professional. Why this is why the Writers Guild and all that stuff are complaining. This is why they strike. This is why they because the seasoned professional is no longer going to be needed because what
But
this
they
stuff
will be
does.
needed. But they will be needed if they learn the tools. That's my point.
But
If you learn the
but
tools,
that's
it's
just
just like me doing AutoCAD. if I'm not up on the latest versions of AutoCAD, and I go to go do a work for a certain architect for a certain firm, and this is the new they use the newest version of Autodesk. Now, even though I know AutoCAD, I still need to learn the latest version in order to be able to use it at their firm. It's the same thing with AI.
Bro,
No,
If
bro,
the reason.
bro,
Let me tell you why
let
it's
me
different.
cut you off really quick.
I'm gonna say this, Kev. I get what you're saying, but I think what Wes is trying to say is that what they're going to do is that if you, like you say, like you need a seasoned person, they're going to go with the artificial thing because that's one less person they have to pay.
That they have
And even if it was someone like you said, like a 20-year-old person, you're talking a 20-year-old person compared to someone that's 65 years old that's been around for X amount of years. We'll let them go and go with the youth. That's just the way seeing our society is.
No, and I understand. I understand that, but my point still is learning the software, learning AI software.
Here's
but I think
everything's a learning curve.
Software.
Everything's a learning curve, but it's not learning. It's not learning like how we used to learn stuff. It's really just learning how. Wait, let me finish. It's really just learning how to write prompts. It's not learning anything about the software. It's artificial intelligence. It's doing it for you. You don't have to learn about the software. The artificial intelligence allows people who can't even write.
To write.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, so let me give you a really good example right now. Something else I'm doing with AI. I got a fitness app that's launching in a couple weeks, 2 weeks or whatever, 10 days, 2 weeks. Dude, I used to edit all my own videos and stuff. I'd be on my phone and my tablet, and dude, AI is doing all my edits now. They're doing the presentation. They know what I want to do. AI is doing the whole thing for the app. It's crazy.
And what happens is, so when I said about Netflix taking that catalog and training the AI, which we
that's exactly what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. Like I said, when Tony mentioned he uploaded a script, right at that point he was training the AI. So now the next time Tony writes a script, the AI already knows what he wrote about last time.
Wrote the script,
and it knows my cadence.
And it knows his cadence, it knows his style, it knows all that stuff. There's stuff that I've put into the AI, and then I come back and try to do something completely different. It's like, would you like me to add that in like you did last time? It's
that's my whole point. But that's my whole point. If you're looking to do something different, you're not going to look to do the same thing all the time. Your cadence is not going to be the same thing all the time.
But it
for
knows
every
your
script.
cadence and where your mindset is at. Like it literally, it can. AI can guess where you're going.
A style. Everyone has some sort of.
It figures your style. Like my AI already kind of figures out like what I like. Like it went through this whole thing. What is that you like? What have you seen? What did you like about this? Literally a little questionnaire that I filled out. And dude, it's incredible.
Someone said the company that buys Warner Brothers and restores the Snyderverse is my friend. Somebody.
Oh God, you guys are still on that.
So
yeah, and we're always going to be on it. Don't start this argument.
That's never going away. That's never going to go away, dude.
Exactly.
It's never gonna go away. Even if it never happens, it's never going to go away.
It's never going away.
There's no point in fighting it.
And you know why it's never going to go away? Because the potential is always there for it to happen. It happened with us getting a black and white version and a color version of Snyder's Vision. Who says that can't happen again if Netflix or whoever buys it? If they decide to hire Zack Snyder and bring him on.
Netflix knows the audience, and it knows what the potential could be. I mean,
this is why Zack Snyder was there to do Rebel Moon. Disney messed around and said, "Nah, we don't want you to do our Star Wars movie." And what did Zack Snyder do? Okay, I'll do my own version. It just won't be called Star Wars or whatever.
I didn't see Rebel Moon, but I heard a lot of folks say
you can't go by what you heard.
It's not
you gotta
really
watch.
Exactly.
You gotta watch.
You can't. No, it was absolutely great.
I look at it myself.
Yeah, do that.
Right.
Look at it yourself first.
I have a love-hate relationship with Snyder. I think Snyder visually is the greatest. I mean, he really is. But you know,
did you like Sucker Punch, Ralph?
No, I
Oh,
didn't like
God,
it.
dude.
It looked
I have a
beautiful.
tattoo right
I
here
love
from one line
Sucker
from
Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people.
But then I
love-hate
loved Watchmen. I thought Watchmen was great. But
I mean,
it just
everyone. There's a lot of
didn't
people I
click with
know
people.
that have love hates with him. But so anyway, that's gonna always be around. He said. But anyway, moving forward, so we say a lot of words such as antitrust, regulators, and of course the people that are in the industry that we know, and people like ourselves, we don't know what they are. For the people that might be listening that do not know that it was, I'll give you a very quick explanation of what antitrust laws are. So antitrust laws exist to stop any one company from becoming too powerful. They protect competition, consumers, workers, and creativity. If a company becomes so big that that no one can compete with it, that's a monopoly, right? And that's when the government steps in. So, what is regulatory oversight? Simply put, it means the government, specifically the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, right? Investigates whether a deal harms the public or the marketplace. Regulatory asks, will this deal kill competition? Will it limit audience choice? Will it destroy theaters? Will AI and WB archives give Netflix an unfair creative power?
Absolutely not.
Will wages drop because one company controls the entire pipeline?
Absolutely not.
If any of those questions is a yes, the government can block the deal, force sell-offs, or impose restrictions.
But listen, the government with those rules, even with those rules in place, now, especially now with the government that we have right now, that those rules don't matter. You might as well throw that whole rule book out the window with the government that we have now.
Yeah, because really all that stuff
a lot
is
of those questions are they are problems.
Again, like I said, with the government that we have now, because all it is like Wes said at the beginning of the show, hey, let me give you 200 million and pass my deal.
Yeah.
And guess what? The deal is going to be passed. Why? Because these suckers are exactly that, and they're not willing to sit down and fight people. Now, do I think that this deal, like if it was a regular government, and do I think that this deal would hurt? No, I don't think so at all. At all. These companies have been doing this. Companies have been buying out companies or big bank, take little bank for decades. And what's going to happen is
I will agree with Kev here because and this has happened forever. But the problem is it's happening with this regime. Not even a government; it's a regime.
Yeah.
You know, Congress doesn't go to work anymore, so they've given the power to the king.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's run by him, and it's his rules only. I mean, even judicial, it's literally bending. Like the regulatory chief is getting fired.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? Say that again, please.
Regulatory chief, the independent regulatory chief, is getting fired, and the Supreme Court's giving the regime king the authority to do so. So now he's got no checks and balances anymore. Like it's done
at all.
Yeah,
at all. And on top of all of that, all of the Supreme Court judges that he's putting in place, these judges are going to be in place for decades now. So as the ones that are compliant to the normal rules of justice are starting will start to fade out. These newer judges that are Trump compliant are going to be around for decades. So what's going to happen? when you have things like what Wes just explained, regulatory rule, that's not going to be in question anymore.
Dude,
Right. It's
all
not
that
really
can
going
happen
to
that can
apply
stop or slow this
when
crap down is by turning Congress, turning the House,
Exactly.
turning it blue.
And then
That
you
is
would
the
have to,
only
and
way
then
to,
once you
that's
get,
the only way to
the,
stop all this crap from going on.
exactly,
and
Because
exactly.
that's
they can impeach judges.
right. Congress
The
can.
legislative can impeach those judges that are giving them all these freedoms.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to just once again let the viewers know why this deal
It
has
is
been
all
red
intertwined,
flagged.
though, viewers.
It is, yeah, it's all intertwined. This deal was red flagged because Netflix is already the number one in streaming, right? Warner Brothers is number one in legacy studio power. AI supercharging could create unprecedented dominance. The DOJ and the FTC
But
already are prepping inquiries for this whole situation.
well, I'm
And
going to tell you like this. Warner Brothers already threw their hat in the streaming ring, and unfortunately, they sucked at it and they fell out. Even though they had some good stuff, HBO Max sucked. It fell
right.
off. Go back to being a cable channel.
Right now,
They
this
should have stuck with that.
that's hilarious. No,
Well, I
so I
think
want
that
to
I
say,
think that might be a matter of perspective
he said, "Go back
of
to
someone's
being a
personal.
cable channel." All right,
I mean,
let me just
I
let me
just think that's
let
a
me.
matter of perspective of
No,
how
it's a
you
matter of
looking at it.
fact. It's about. I
So,
like HBO Max, and what I'm
no, I love
saying is a
HBO Max.
fact.
Honestly, I actually love it
Well,
because of all of
I'm
the
looking at it like
legacy
this: is
stuff
that
that's on there.
I don't have HBO Max, but you two guys, you both talked about Peacemaker, which I think is on HBO Max.
No, I never
Right.
talked about Peacemaker. I don't like Peacemaker.
I certainly heard about The Penguin, which was on HBO Max. Did this show
Which is
now?
dope.
What's his show with Walsh?
I mean, I talked about the
the
Penguin. I
medical
talked about
show.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, that was Tony that talked about Penguin and Peacemaker.
What's the medical show with the guy that used to be on ER? That just got how many nominations today for best drama? You know,
Again. I like I said, I like HBO Max, but the fact is, it is a failing streaming service compared to the rest of them, especially compared to Disney Plus and to Netflix.
Oh, dude. I mean, let me give you a prime example. Disney Plus, you got everything Avengers, everything Marvel. DC literally has gotten rid of half their DC catalog, their cartoons, movies, whatever. You can't, you got to go, they license it some other places. Like, why would I want to get HBO Max, the home of DC,
because they're
and
licensing
I
other
can't
places
watch?
because they were so, because Warner Brothers was so much in debt and hungry for money, they're licensing their stuff other places. Netflix got half their shit already. You know,
Dude, I mean, come on, dude. Batman animated series, you got to find it here and there. It's in spotted places. It's crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I said, I don't have HBO Max or Max, whatever it's called, so I can't test it. But I'm just saying.
Well, it's good money saved.
What I have heard over the last 2 years, dominantly Peacemaker, the show I talked about that I just said with the dude from ER, the Penguin, and not for nothing, I used to hear about the Harley Quinn cartoon. And just the spin off to Sex and the City, and just like
I'm not a fan of the Harley Quinn cartoon.
I liked it. I thought it was. I like
cool.
it. It's funny.
But still a point is predominantly over the streaming platform. Even with everything that you said, Ralph, that's a drop in the bucket.
Good
compared to
it's a drop.
Yeah, and again,
great content, but like what to Kevin's point, it's not the whatever they don't know how they haven't been able to crack the code. Even with all that great content, they haven't been able to crack the code on staying competitive in the streaming
market. Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why that we are where we are now, right? Because of that. So what I wanted to say here, okay, let's talk really quickly about one of the things that we talked about earlier with Netflix the decline of the theatrical experience. Here's a couple of talking points. Box office is down 23.5% from 2019. Those are just factual
Is it down
numbers.
from last year?
This is from the highest point before now. The highest point
before the
pandemic
before
was
the
2019.
Yeah.
But what was it compared to last year, the year before that? And obviously it died during COVID.
Listen, as y'all would tell me, the pandemic is over. The pandemic is past. Let's stop using that as an excuse.
No,
Like Tony just said. Like Tony just said. Like Tony just said. What is the comparison to last year? 2019 is said and gone. What's the comparison to last year?
You got to use it as a barometer because.
But isn't the current state?
Theatrical, listen, that's when theatrical was at its highest. So
yes, it was at its highest. It was at its highest. Go ahead.
Okay. In order to judge something calculation-wise, you have to take it from its highest point. That's how you make.
But you have to take it. But if you're taking it,
also
but if
the
you're taking
killed it, so did it recover? And how much of it recovered?
Thank you. There's a new highest point now. There's a new highest point.
But the
what is the highest point?
But the highest
from 2001, from 2001 until now, that's a new highest point because there was a major disruption in the market. There was a major disruption in the market with the pandemic. You follow what I'm saying?
I got you. So right, because there's a new highest point, but I guess the point I was trying to make is the new highest point is not as high as the highest point.
Can you tell me what
That's the point.
theatrical market is like this year compared to last year?
And I get what you're saying, but you have to, if you're going to go by a barometer, the new barometer is post-pandemic. In anything that you look at right now, a lot of gauges are by what's happening now post-pandemic. What is the market like with soybeans post-pandemic? What is the market like with, I don't know, cornflakes post-pandemic? You know what I'm saying? But cornflakes could have had a highest point pre-pandemic, and obviously it's going to. But the pandemic shut everything down.
Oh yeah, it definitely did.
No,
So now everything's gauged by a different metric. It's not going to be the same metric as before. It's easy to reach back. It's just like when they reach back and say, "Hey, when they judge what prices are, from the 1990s compared to now, with box office prices, what was the? I should say with box office revenue. When they go to gauge, okay, this is what it was in 1999 compared to now. It's different. That metric is different now because of the pandemic, because it was a major disruption in what happened.
Right, and let's be real. Even yourself, Wes, you said that since the pandemic, you haven't really gone back into a theater. The pandemic was 5 years ago, but you haven't gone into a movie theater.
I've been back. I've been back since then, but yeah. No, but
I'm saying, and I've been in the theaters, and I was in the theaters. Go ahead, Ralph. Sorry.
What I was saying,
okay, guys, I have numbers. I have numbers.
Here goes the data.
I have numbers. This is Bob. My AI. So last year, the theatrical market did 8.6 to 8.8 billion.
Right.
This year, it's on course to do $9 billion, even more with the release of Avatar.
Yeah.
So it's up 1% today to the same point yesterday, 1% higher from last year. But compared to
that's my point.
Post-pandemic, it's up 23%. So so it's like a whole new marketplace.
Right. It's right. So right
and
here.
And that's just domestically.
Right. That's domestically, exactly. So it says here in 2023, it was up 22 point something percent. Then it dipped down a little bit in 2024. It's back climbing again now in 2025, like you just said, Tony. So regardless, y'all just completely took me off of my complete point I was trying to make. I had a whole completely different point I was
we
trying
had to punch
to
holes in it. But also, I also got to bring up.
Your punch holes in what?
But
I didn't even
also,
finish
dude,
my point.
there were very little movies that were released theatrically because everything went straight to streaming.
Right.
That's a very limited release. Not
see,
everything is being
okay,
released.
But people,
all right, I'm gonna call for silence here. I want to get back to
Hold on, let him get back to his point.
To my original point. Okay, all I was talking about is the decline in theatrical experience. Screens closing nationwide. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. Screens closing nationwide. Rising ticket prices. Declining theater experience quality. Now, some places are exception to that rule. Some places are, but we're talking, AMC and I'm an AMC club member, and I go to every AMC in every state that I go into. Some of them are good, some of them not so much. They haven't caught up yet. But not even all of them, like depending on where you go, don't even have recliners still.
And I think that's only because of we've talked about that pre-pandemic. I think that's only because just that on that point, it's only because of the fact of the movie theater market in that area. Like even here in New York, I mean, literally not even a mile away from one AMC to another. There's one that doesn't have recliners, and then there's one that does. It's because that theater.
I'm just like, man, like they should catch
they
up.
all should be caught up.
Yeah, they should all be caught up by now, especially when that's when I understand the pandemic, they were losing so much money, so they couldn't afford to
spend the money. Because like you remember Roosevelt Field,
they should have.
Yeah, because like Roosevelt Field, that used to be one of those theaters that didn't have recliners, but they had to do a whole renovation. They had to change how that theater from the top to the bottom. They had to change that theater in order to get the seats.
Also, the saying of declining theater experience quality. I invite all of you to check out our homegirl Megan, who comes on the show, with tea and popcorn, her show on YouTube. She does a whole full breakdown on the declining quality of the movie going experience, and it's a very good deep dive she does into it, and she has all her receipts and all her things like that, because meaning stuff of how, once again, I hate to sound like the old man who talks about the younger generation, but they don't have the respect for the theaters that we did. So the theaters are constantly dirty because they're messing them up faster than the theater people can clean them. When the whole Minecraft movie was out, it was a whole thing. It went viral on the internet.
Yeah.
People destroying theaters, throwing popcorn, soda, nachos, everything all over the place, destroying theaters in the Minecraft movie. Right?
Why?
So, because I don't know why. I didn't see the movie.
I think they were apparently or allegedly, I should say, it was because of the movie. They were
allegedly cut the movie. I didn't see it, so I don't know.
And it wasn't in all theaters. This was probably in specific locations.
No, it wasn't all theaters, but it was certain theaters. Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that. Then you go with just overall. I won't go over what she talked about. I'm gonna invite everybody to go over to Tea and Popcorn is the YouTube page. Check her out. Our girl Megan from Megan's World. She has a nice breakdown about that. Also, audience shifting to home viewing. We already know that. We know the streaming first strategies definitely killed theatrical windows. And that's something else that the CEO of Netflix talked about. I don't know if he mentioned this because he's trying to influence it or he knows something that we don't know. He talked specifically about the windows, quote unquote, evolving. And we know what that means. Evolving means shrinking.
Well, okay, but all right. Yeah, let's stick on that for a minute because we've talked about this pre-pandemic and we've talked about this post-pandemic. Again, the post-pandemic, it did change, and I wish we can go back and get some of our episodes and bring them back up because we did talk about this once before. Again, this is because of the pandemic. This was going to change. Why? Because people weren't going out to the movies as much because they were scared. Unlike myself, I was willing to jump in the pandemic and ended up catching COVID. Which, anyway, I won't say it's because of the theaters, but from being outside. But again, I didn't let that disrupt my movie theater experience. But at the same time, for some things, I didn't have to go to the theaters for because if I missed it, it was coming out 3 weeks later, specifically on Warner Brothers. If we want to talk about Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers was one of the sites, was one of the places that was doing it the most.
They were doing it. As a matter of fact, that's what ran Nolan away. Nolan sued them. Remember that, Tony? Nolan sued them because they had put his what was the movie he did?
A lot of the superhero movies during that time paid off their actors and the directors and everybody for their back end.
And same thing,
including
with,
Nolan for
Scarlett.
his movie.
Remember
It was that weird one. What's it called? The one with all the upside down crooked world.
Yeah,
Tenet.
Tenet.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie. I wish I saw that theatrically.
I
did too as well.
So, same thing. Scarlett did the whole thing too. Scarlett Johansson did it with.
She went after Disney Plus.
She had to go after Disney because they, she got screwed out of a lot of back end because they released it, with streaming the same time they released it in the theaters. I don't even know if did they even put it in the theaters? I think they did. Yeah.
No, it wasn't theaters.
But it was during that
all.
time, you could only go to theaters 20 people at a time. So
it depends on it depended on the theater because as the pandemic progressed, theaters started becoming more lax with how many people they were allowing in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean,
it went from being 20. It went from being 20 people at a time to being 6 feet apart, and then went from being 6 feet apart to where we don't care. We'll pay you. We'll let you buy the whole movie theater for $100.
Yeah. And actually, AMC continued with that, and they've gotten a lot of good responses from doing that, offering people to buy out the theaters, and people were bringing groups of people together, and you buy the theater out for a couple $100 and everybody just pay, in the theater holds whatever 100 and some people.
And I'm gonna tell you who they got to thank for that. Rest in peace. Thank Ryan Coogler for that. I mean, Chadwick Boseman and Ryan Coogler, who is still alive, for Black Panther, because Black Panther was I think it was the first movie theater to do it as much as they did it. They weren't the first to do it, but they were first to do it on the level that they did it. They had tons of people buying movie theaters out so they could come see Black Panther. So AMC
schools was buying out. Schools was busing kids to see Black Panther and stuff like that. I remember that.
You know that Trump knocks that, right? He talks so much shit about that.
Well, of course, but so let me just before I move into my next section, I did talk about all of this stuff, but we all talked about Netflix and everything, the pros and cons, blah blah blah. Now, Paramount, butthurt Paramount, decided,
the shooter shot across the bow.
That Paramount says, okay, here is from the Eyes of the Hollywood Reporter says, now Paramount attacked Netflix's bid for Warner Brothers. Attorneys for David Ellison run studio wrote a letter saying the streaming giant's offer posed quote unquote substantial risks and singled out multiple times Netflix will reduce the number of films for broad theatrical releases. Then, as the clock ticked in the sale for the Warner Brothers empire, Netflix, Comcast, and Paramount made a full court press to snap it up. Zaslav ran studio conglomerate and crown jewel assets like HBO. Behind the scenes, the players made the case to Warner Brothers Discovery. They all put their bids in. Obviously, Netflix emerged with the deal, codenamed Project Noble, unveiling a $82.7 billion acquisition offer early on December 5th that includes a whopping $5.8 billion breakup fee, with Warner's shareholders receiving $23.25 in cash and $4.50 in shares of Netflix common stock for each share of Warner Brothers Discovery common stock. So they're getting that extra money on top of that, right? So they're basically giving you extra money to walk away.
So basically, Paramount is upset because, and which makes no sense to me, because if your first claim is that, oh my God, Netflix is going to, if Netflix does that, that means the release of movies theatrically is going to be reduced. Dumb jackass. Doesn't that mean you make more content to fill in the vacuum and get that money where the vacuum is open for?
Well, that's not only that.
Well, the thing is that I'll get people used to what y'all watching stuff on streaming and not go theatrical.
Right.
Wait, what did you say again, Tony?
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Tony, what did you say again?
Just get people used to just watching stuff on streaming rather than going out to theatrical.
Yeah,
no, but again, yeah, that's true. But again, if there's a vacuum there, just like with anything else, fill a void.
But the problem is Paramount makes shit movies.
Yeah, well, okay.
So, okay,
I don't know if that's such an easy thing to just do. Just fill the void.
Let me continue. So
Paramount's got a great TV division. Their theatrical division sucks. They have development for their movies, and whatever's going theatrical is not doing anything. It's not engaging the audience.
Right,
I agree.
So David Ellis's Paramount, which had been aggressive in pursuing an outright acquisition at Warner Brothers, had sent multiple letters, sent multiple letters to Warner's outlining its case, while also singling out Netflix and Comcast offers are more fraught. They said there, then they put some more detail on there. So basically, this is where the mudslinging comes. So they're harping on, well, there are not going to be any enough movies in theaters. Netflix decides to get in the mud with them and sling back. So just recently, Netflix CEO says Paramount Warner Brothers deal. He says he basically made a quote saying President Trump's interests in this.
Thank you.
He said,
"Thank you."
Well, he said the same interests of ours, which is to create jobs, right? So he says we're going to protect jobs. Paramount, who's already fired thousands of people, as we already know, that's public knowledge. They've laid out thousands of people, and a lot of them are people of color. They were the first to go. The
DEI people are the first to go.
Right. So they said we're going to protect jobs. He said Paramount acquiring Warner Brothers will lead to job losses. We're not cutting jobs. So that's his mudslinging. He slings the mud back by saying, well, Paramount acquires, they're going to fire people. It's going to lead to job losses. We're not cutting people. We're not cutting jobs. We don't know. Everyone's just saying what they want to say, obviously. But I'm just throwing the tea out there so people can see all of the.
And that's factual because Trump. Because one, didn't Trump have his whole hand? Didn't Paramount turn around and decide? You know what, Trump? We're going to give you a couple of bucks, and we're gonna bow down to the throne.
They already bowed down a couple
And
times
they
and paid
did.
him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. And so, okay, so in another letter, they drafted stuff talking about suggesting that the Warner's management viewed the streaming giant more formidably than Paramount. And then they go on to say, at the end of the day, they're basically they came in and basically, long story short, with all of this, they decided to come back with a major cash deal that's going to add up to over $100 billion for the Warner Brothers properties. And I guess from that point on, we'll have to see where it goes. But now, where does this lead for everybody? Well, it's all speculation, and everyone knows that. But judging by the way things are going, we already know that. Okay, so when it comes to DC, I know a lot of the fans that tune in want to hear about that. When it comes to the DC portion of it, you have a lot of fans that are the new DCU fans, and they really want to see this play out. I'm not gonna say you could definitely forget it, but if Paramount acquires Warner Brothers, yeah, it's pretty much James Gunn is pretty much out. Right?
Yeah.
because they are on the side of Trump, and Trump doesn't like James Gunn.
No.
So, right, because they don't like they had the whole thing complaining about Superman and all that stuff. Right, too woke Superman and all this other stuff. They had a whole thing about it. It was ridiculous. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie. I thought it was okay, but I mean, that was too much, man. Who cares about? Oh, he's woke. Yeah, like what? But anyway, that whole thing.
I didn't even see how he was woke personally. I know.
He was. That's
Let's
a
not
whole
talk about that. I actually have to go. But I did want to bring before I go because my investors texted me. Have you guys? I know we talked about Netflix. Have you guys seen the Diddy documentary on Netflix? Redemption.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I saw
it. I didn't watch it.
I have no interest in watching it.
I really don't have any interest
You saw
in
my
watching
documentary, right? The one I did on Junior Mafia, Chronicles of Junior Mafia. I was Video of the Year for MTV and stuff. Dude, I said the same thing they're talking about right here, right now. I was like, oh my God. You guys got to watch it.
Well, see, because of that, I'll compare.
Is more grimy than what I thought.
Yeah, but not everything in that documentary was accurate. But that's a whole other story. And
I've
it's
only
done
seen
for
the
the
first
wrong
episode,
reasons.
but it was really good. I can't wait to watch the rest.
Here's what it is, and this is all I'm gonna say on it. I've heard from a lot of people, almost everyone, that, and I'm not talking about any old person. I'm talking about filmmakers have talked to me that said it's very well done. That's the first thing that I always hear, right? That it's very well done.
What else is it going to be?
No, that's not true. Some documentaries are crappy.
There's some documentaries on Netflix that are crap.
There's a lot of documentaries that just
but with the Diddy name,
documentaries were terrible. But
with the Diddy name, you would expect for it to have some type of.
But Diddy didn't produce it.
Yeah, if Diddy produced it, then yes. This could have been
there
a
was
whole
no
ratchet
expectation, whatever the case may be. I mean, because I don't know, of course this was a long time in the making, but it seemed like it came out so fast because we're gonna talk. But anyway, my last thing I say about it is I'm not necessarily really interested in watching it because to me it's pointless. And it's done for the wrong reasons. 50 is butthurt because
his baby mama was getting cracked open by Diddy, and this is his way of getting back out. So he's kicking his back in while he's down.
Again.
That's just what he is.
Say that part again. And he's trying to get a bag while doing it. Yeah, if I can't do anything else, I'm gonna get a bag while doing it.
Out of all these rappers, who wasn't messing with each other's women? They were all messing with each other's women.
Problem.
I mean, look at Nas. Nas is like, that one hurt me. The one with his, that one hurt.
But here's the problem is 50 tried to wife up an industry chick, and he did that, and that's what happened. So, and he's butthurt about it. It is what it is. And
it's like trying to marry a stripper,
right? Being who 50 is,
or an OF model.
He's
that part.
All right. He studies the 48 laws of power, and he's implemented a few of them here. Crush your, I don't remember what law it is. It might be number 9. Crush your enemy completely. That's one of the laws of the.
But how are you crushing somebody who can't even fight back?
Well, that's the best time. That's the point. That's the point.
That's the best time.
Yeah, that's the best time to do it. Yeah. That's the best time to strike when they're at their most vulnerable.
When they're at their worst.
But in this case, it doesn't make sense. And I don't want to drag this out because I know Wes wants to get past this. But it doesn't make sense to really poke a bear that really can't poke back. And that kind of defeats.
He is a cub. He is hiding somewhere. He's just trying to get the shit off of him.
Think of it as poachers. Poachers shoot big bad animals and take pictures with them like they conquered them, like they fought
exactly. And we know it's bullshit because if Diddy and using that same analogy, if Diddy would have been out of jail or not been in jail, you wouldn't have heard Pete from 50, except for reiterating that same story about him going shopping.
I made this documentary 24 years ago, and I said the same thing they said here. Diddy didn't say a thing. He stayed quiet.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. No.
And
like I said,
we name names.
Yeah. No. There's a whole thing about that.
Like
I said, with it is what it is. Now I know, Tony, you say you had to get out of here.
I gotta go. Yeah.
You coming on, man. Thank you again for joining us.
Glad to talk to you guys. Kevin, I appreciate the apology. Ralph,
thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me on. All right, guys.
All right, brother.
Have a good night.
See you.
Have a good night.
Yeah. So, I'll say this and then I'll move on. Like I said, I don't really have much interest in. Number one, a lot of this stuff I already knew. So like I'm looking at, I didn't see it, but what people are telling me, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that Diddy. Oh, you didn't know that? Okay. But I did. So it's a lot of stuff. Now I'm sure there's stuff in there that I probably didn't know. But my point is, I don't really have an interest in it. 50 goes around promoting this thing like he cares about these victims. He don't give a damn about no victims. 50 is doing this.
It's all about a bag.
What he does.
Yeah.
Well, that and getting a bag and getting it's double the sweetness for him.
Exactly.
He's getting
that part.
He's getting the whatever revenge or whatever it is he wants at the same. Because let's be honest, his ego was hurt. Diddy was flying all over the globe with his baby mama. Diddy was cracking her open on a daily basis, like he was making an omelet. Okay.
Wow.
And on top of that, and he was slutting her out to the world. So I mean, let's be honest here. That didn't go well for someone who's the persona.
Yeah, who tried to wife the chick. And again, that's why I said you're poking a bear.
That he's always he's poaching. That's what we call. That's what we got to start saying. Poaching, bro.
Poaching. Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be the new term. You poaching.
So
well, I'm gonna say this. I mean, I ain't talked to a few people that work with Diddy or knew Diddy, and they're telling me that there's a level of grime to Diddy that the public just don't know nothing about. Yeah. And this documentary has brought out some stuff about him, And
but what does that help us though? At this point, he's in
Point.
jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if he is grimy, so what? A lot of these Negroes are grimy.
But I want to answer. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer that question like this, and this is where I will say Netflix. My own personal thing. Netflix got a documentary out there right now about Vincent McMahon. Right, Vincent McMahon, like you give, and I think the same thing with Diddy. You give Vincent McMahon the credit because he did revolutionize wrestling. He did put all the dirt.
But he's one of the biggest scumbags to ever walk this planet.
Yes, he is.
First.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, he is.
And but here's the difference, Ralph. I'm glad you brought that up, Ralph, because here's the difference. And don't get me, I'm about to find a soapbox.
Here we go. Here we go. Stand up on it.
Here's the difference. What you just said, Ralph, is the perfect example. I'll just say their people don't go out of their way to crucify their people.
Can you say that again?
Our people will hand over anybody on a silver platter. Meanwhile, too bad going at each other while they are over there laughing at us and preserving their culture while we destroy ours from within. That is why. Because the fact
at the same time,
not tell the truth about Vince McMahon in their documentary, there's your proof right there.
That says it all.
They didn't tell the whole truth of it. They put a lot of scummy stuff that he did out there, but they didn't really get into the real scum. The green slimy punching holes in your chest. No. They just really.
You're a right one.
And from what I'm getting, this is the same thing with the Diddy documentary. Like they haven't really touched the surface of who this guy really is. Personally, I didn't know. I knew that Kim Porter was with Albert Shore. I had no idea that Cassie was with somebody else, and he basically
Ryan
took
Leslie.
her. I didn't know that one. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Right.
See, I didn't even watch the documentary. I could tell you that because I already knew that. So, yeah, she came in. As a matter of fact, her only hit had nothing to do with Diddy. Ryan Leslie wrote and produced Me and You.
Nope.
That had nothing to do with Disney. I mean, with Diddy. Ryan Leslie produced that. And I tell you another thing, leading into that, Cassie is no angel in all of this.
She's no saint. She is no saint.
She is no saint. Ryan Leslie got his laptop stolen with all of his music on it. I don't know if they covered that or not. They probably didn't. But
no,
if you don't think Cassie had something to do with that, y'all crazy. And he at one point, Ryan Leslie put out $1 million reward for
his laptop
who finds his laptop and returns it to him. Now, if the average person would have had that laptop, they would have turned it.
They would have turned it right in right away.
That tells you right there that whoever had his laptop didn't
had
need
money.
$1 million, right? Didn't need $1 million.
And it goes back to, it kind of goes back to back in the day with, taking Diddy out of the equation. It kind of goes back in the day with BDP and Marley Marl when Marley Marl's stuff disappeared. And then BDP turns up with samples, well, not samples, well, not just samples, but with his drum patterns and everything. Go back and listen to doom 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 boom boom doom 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 bap bap boom bap. Listen to them percussions on that. But fast forwarding back to this, Diddy was being more maniacal, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cassie stole a damn laptop. Allegedly.
I'm sure she at least. I'm sure if she didn't,
I'm going to say that she did.
She led to it. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that she actually did.
I mean, she's the only real connection to if Diddy had anything.
Say it again.
She's the
say it again
to it. So, I mean, like I said, right now, with just on an update on that, Cassie's
allegedly,
story,
we gonna keep saying
Cassie's story is not over. because now you got Clayton, whatever his name is, one of the sex workers one of the male prostitutes. He's suing her. They're all suing her. They're all suing her.
They all want a piece of that money. What was it? 32 million she got?
32 million.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time to give a piece of that cake, baby.
Actually, you know who I'm surprised hasn't sued Diddy yet? I'm surprised Johnson & Johnson hasn't sued him yet for lacing their baby oil. I'm surprised.
But that wasn't Diddy's fault. That wasn't true, and Diddy didn't say that. That was the it was the prosecutor.
That was proven in court. That was not true.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
They actually had a chemist and all that stuff on the stand that tested all of that stuff. They wasn't lacing no baby. That became this whole. It's just like the freak offs became this so-called like it was a public party thing, and it was never that. It was always a private thing.
And that was their way of really trying to suck other artists into this whole thing.
Well, I mean,
that's what they were trying to do.
So on top of that, even the thing about Diddy using Biggie's money to pay for his own funeral, that was been debunked already, because that was involved in the planning of that funeral, and even from Biggie's camp, that said that's not true. All right, so I mean, not everything that's going to be in these things are going to be true. But there's a lot of things that aren't. There's a lot of things that's exaggerated. Now, I'll say this: it's because of Diddy's hubris, it's because of Diddy's narcissism, is why he's in this whole mess in the first place.
Yes.
Allegedly, I was told that the gentleman the filmmaker that was filming this, because Diddy was filming this stuff for himself. He was doing his own documentary on his life, and allegedly, the guy who filmed it, or the person who filmed it, did not get paid for their work that they did, which is something that Diddy is
known for.
Notorious for. He is notorious for doing it. Quick story: when I was editing my first feature film, The Trade-Off, shout out to Sherman Sawyer, I was editing that film in New York City at a that was at an editing suite that was in the same building as Daddy's House studio. I was there for over a month editing this film. I'd take breaks. I'd go downstairs and just chill and just look at New York City, because it was out there. Where the hell was it? It was Daddy's House.
It's on 40. It's on 40. 44th. I think it's like 44th.
Yeah, it was like it was in a very busy area.
So
I just go outside and just look at New York. So there's a gentleman there, don't remember his name, but he was a engineer for Diddy, and he worked at Daddy's House. And I remember standing outside, and I remember I even told y'all back when it happened, I saw Mary J. Blige come through there. I saw Little Kim come through. I saw people coming in there because he did the final mixes for the Born Again album. All right. This guy that I was talking to, the engineer, and he worked for Diddy, and he was like, yo, Diddy owes me like $8,000. And I'm like, he owes you $8,000? He's like, yeah. I said, you've been working, he ain't paid you? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, why are you still working? He's like, because he ain't paid me and I want my money. So you still keep keep coming to work. It's just like the airline pilots. You keep coming to work in hopes of I'm eventually gonna get paid. Now the tab is run up to $8,000 at the time. And I remember thinking to myself, and that was, I said, I wasn't in music no more. We were moved on from music. I remember thinking to myself, why would anybody work with this guy? But I don't know why they keep doing it, but they kept doing it. But I'm like, why would anybody work with this guy? He don't even pay the guys that are low on the totem pole. He owes $8,000.
I'm going to tell you why. They keep working for him. Why? Because just the name, just being attached, his name being attached to your project means that it's going to possibly be a hit. Now, with that being said, you restructure your contract. You don't go into business with Puffy with the same contract that you went in before. You negotiate a new contract. So that's why especially a lot of the producers have said, you know what? That money is what it is. I'm not going to get it back. I'm not going to fight for it anymore because I'm just not going to get it. Especially with him now being in jail, I'm not going to get it. So screw it. Engineers.
And I'll tell you this too. And I know a lot of people, my boy Deuce, who drive, a lot of other people, they drive tour bus for these people. Diddy is far from the only person who does that.
Nope.
Baby is like that. Khaled is like that. These people don't pay people, and I don't understand why they don't.
Listen, they don't pay engineers. Can you imagine working for $75 as an engineer? And I can say this, why West? I can say this because I know engineers right now at a minimum get $75 an hour if you're a seasoned engineer at a minimum. So what are you gonna do if you know if you got a contract to do something for $75 an hour, or somebody come and tell you, listen, I need you to come do this. I need you to engineer this album for me at your current rate.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go do it, and then what are you gonna get? Screwed in the end. But hoping that you won't be, because you're hoping that somebody has some integrity.
What was you gonna say, Ralph?
I said I can answer that question for you because I've had an artist tell me that. Oh, you should be blessed that you're even in my presence, that you're around my aura. I was like, what?
What did Kanye say? Wait a minute, yo, Rob. What did Kanye say?
No, that wasn't
my presence.
Kanye.
My presence is a present. Kiss my ass.
Yeah. and the dude actually said it like, how am I gonna say this? He actually said it with a straight face. Oh, you should just be honored that you're just in my presence. You're getting all this knowledge. You're just like, what?
Knowledge.
But you know what? In some instances, that's what they try to sell you on. They try to sell these up and coming producers on
a lot of people. Yeah. They all do that. They all do that. Let me tell you something. I get it, but at the same time, I laugh at it because I'm just like, all right, cool. But the bottom line is,
where's my paycheck?
Well, yeah, right, exactly. Where my bread? And I remember back in the day, my man Sherv said it too. He said it best. He's like, "Why ain't nobody riding around with Puffy in their trunk?"
Yo, hey, y'all, can you please? that whole part right there.
He was like, at this point, he said, "That's the problem." Like, don't get me wrong. Now, let's not get it twisted. Puffy ain't no punk. He never been. And a lot of people who always talk stuff about.
I don't know about that part.
No. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
Know, apparently, because Puffy is far from that. And as a matter of fact, he's more like people been saying that for the longest. They're like, what y'all don't know is Puffy is who we thought Suge Knight was.
Exactly.
That's the thing that you don't know.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact.
And that's a fact. So the bottom line is, so it's not just so easy where you're just gonna go and punk them out or what have you. And on top of that, that's not even including his money. I'm just saying, period, he ain't no punk.
And his street influence that he had before he even came in the game. Because let's not forget who he's the son of.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Right. So that alone is why, I mean, look at all the times that Puffy has been out of before he ever went into prison. You ever see 50 Cent press him? No.
Nope. Like I said before, that's why he's pressing him. That's why he's poking the bear now, because or he's poaching.
Right.
Because the bear is behind bars. Right. It's like when you make fun of the gorilla at the zoo, but then like in trading places, when you get tied up with the gorilla in the back of the train car, and now you stuck, and now you the gorilla's bitch for the rest of your life.
I'm laughing because I was just looking at this cartoon a little while ago. It was an old Bugs Bunny one where not Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam, he was a Roman gladiator, right?
Oh,
He's chasing bugs, and this lion starts growling at Yosemite, and he hits him in the head with a club.
Yeah.
Right. So the last one did again. So now Bugs opens up the cage, and the cage comes up, and he's oh, okay,
Looney Tunes, the Warner
Yeah.
Brothers is still
Warner
on
Brothers.
brand. What we talking about? You said it's still on brand. That's Looney Tunes. That's Warner Brothers. So at the end of the day, to put a bow on it, you know, this is going to be a more developing story. But like I said, when I first heard about the deal and everybody was like, yeah, I said, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to go through. Unfortunately, because of what we, unfortunately for them, it doesn't really matter to me either way. But I don't think the deal's going to go through. I think it's going to get killed. I don't know if Paramount is going to, I mean, with that kind of money, I don't see why they probably wouldn't end up acquiring Warner Brothers. But like, again, okay, so they acquire one. Nobody, to me, there's no perfect storm here. Netflix,
well, they're going to have the money.
We're going to run into the stuff that we already talked about, right? The
Mm-hmm.
cons.
Yep.
Paramount acquires them. Yeah, they'll keep films in the theater, but that don't mean that they're going to continue to make great films. And number two, a lot of people are still going to lose jobs because Paramount has already fired a lot of people.
And that's what their ties to the administration wants to happen. So even if Trump has to take some of that money that Paramount gave to him and give it back to them so they can close this deal out
And then
keep
they'll
Netflix.
funnel the money back to him.
Exactly.
They'll funnel the money back to him. Because why do you think he, with the Saudis getting behind it and you had them there at the White House, all that stuff is connected, All of it is connected.
All you gotta do is follow the money, and it'll lead you back to everything you need to see and know about this whole deal. And if Netflix doesn't get it, I guarantee you, and Netflix is not even going to fight it in court. Why? Again, because of the reasons we said earlier.
Well, yeah,
because of this administration,
because of the regime, because of the current regime, and no one wants to get bullied out of the business, and that's pretty much what will happen when you have the two major government agencies that I mentioned, the Department of Justice and the FTC, are controlled by this regime. So, and y'all can just chew on that. I do want to go into my segment that I did before. It's called Inside the Writer's Room, and talk a little bit about the Stranger Things season 5 that's been getting a lot of praise, a lot of play. It was number 1 to the Diddy doc came out. That went to number 1, but on Netflix. But it is definitely one of the most talked about, and not just talked about. It actually episode 4 of that series, of that season, has become the most streamed episode in the entire series of Stranger Things. But what I want to talk about is the what makes these episodes, and this particular episode, great. I'm gonna, for all of the writer buffs out there, or the people, whether you're aspiring or you are a writer, these are just some takeaways. If you haven't watched it, you go ahead and watch it. I'm not really giving spoilers here. I'm just giving techniques and things that happen in there. And if you've seen it, you'll understand it a little more than if you haven't seen it. But Section A, the structure. Episode 4 was the mid-season escalation, whatever. That the threat becomes personal, right? Let me just go here, bring up my notes here. So for the episode 4, let me just bring the notes up here. Where are you? Antitrust. I already talked about antitrust. Okay. Yeah, so we have right here. Damn, why the hell I lose my damn points here? So so that episode was the highest rated episode of the series, and it went into only because it had a lot of the Duffers write on emotion, right? They don't really they like to get you really locked into their characters, right? And emotionally, because you're the stakes, you're more invested stakes wise with emotion than it is with just action and stuff like that. So now I don't know who I'm trying to. The reason why I'm dancing around it like that because I don't want to ruin it for people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to not.
And I would disagree with that a little bit, just because the action in this, especially towards the latter episodes, are increased, and even from the first episode. I mean, in the second episode, it kind of set a good standard for the stakes. And by episode 3, it really starts to push the stranger envelope, so to speak, of the film. I know, Wes, I had jokingly said to you offline that I hated it. I didn't actually. I thought this was the better of the seasons, season 5, and these 4 episodes have been awesome and getting increasingly better as the episodes go along. But I will say that the action as well as the writing, they go hand in hand, because you can't have one without the other when it comes to these guys. They express through through their direction exactly what they want what they want to pull out of the audience, and what keeps you as a fan of. I mean, this almost goes back to how the first episodes locks you in. If
It did. It gave you a lot of that. And they were very, very good at giving you that feeling of what made you fall in love with this show in the first place, right? And they've been them and the writing team has been really, really nailing that. But at this point we know we're in the 5th season, so we're already emotionally invested in most of these characters, right?
Even though I will say the acting is a little bit, in some of the characters, is a little bit has a little bit to be desired, because they're just in some aspects where they should have grown, they're still crybabies, and that's the one aspect that I
they're
didn't.
still kids, but they're kids in adult situations. But I wanted to break. All right, so the Duffers, they when their story momentum and stuff like that, some of their pressure points that they do with their writing, their characters, they have the parallel arc method they use. So the Duffers love splitting the cast into groups. This is what they do. They've been doing this all the time. Group A usually learns something. Group B discovers something, and Group C experiences something. Right? That's
And
how
Group D experiences nothing.
That's how they break everything up. So, all discovery points towards the same emotional truth. And so, point 2, the emotional spike pattern. This is what the Duffers also implement. Episode 4s, if you go back and watch all of the seasons, because usually episode 4 is like the midpoint of the season, right? So they're very famous for episode 4s. Always includes 4 beats. Okay. One character breaks, one character steps up, one relationship shifts, and one truth is revealed. That's usually a pattern that happens in episode 4s of this series. And if you go through that episode, you'll kind of figure out which character is which, who did what, who stepped up, what relationship had a shift, what truth was revealed, and which character breaks. They also break new characters a lot too. New characters to the point where, like, for instance, the young girl, the younger sister kind of became the new character that they broke in that episode, because she became Now she's going to become a one of the more important characters going forward. They always do stuff like that.
But she's not really a new character. She's just being she's being revisited where she was put on the shelf. They dusted her off.
Her purpose is new. She's being repurposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So even though she's not a brand new character, but her purpose is her now purpose for being there is new.
It's not really new because I think in one of the early episodes, it was either season 1 or season 2, she kind of did the same thing with a purpose. And again, I don't want to spoil it, so I just want to say that she kind of sort of had the same purpose as to where she lended a hand where they didn't have a hand to be lent. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, without killing it, without destroying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So point 3, fear through, this is what I talked about before, fear through emotion, not just monsters. The Duffers don't write fear as quote unquote jump scares. They write fear as guilt, regret, buried trauma, and suppressed memories. That's things that they use. Those are methods that they use to those are their methods of fear that they use. The monsters are metaphors, emotional truths wearing supernatural skins. That's really what these, of course, on the surface,
I have to agree.
The monsters, right? So it's like they're all metaphors, because that's why all of their monsters are named after things that already exist. Like the Mind Flayer and the Demigorgons. Those things exist, or those names existed already, but they didn't have a name for it, so they gave them that. I'm talking about the characters. They didn't have names for these things. It's just like it, right? They didn't have a name for it. Then Pennywise the clown is just a manifestation of it.
That's why they gave it the name Pennywise, and that's why it's called Stranger Things.
Right. So that's where Stranger Things, right? Because this stuff is not about monsters. That's just the metaphor of the emotions that's going within all of them.
And again, stranger, meaning that they're stranger than what you're normally used to. These are not the same. These are not the same type of characters like all the ones that Wes named off. They're not your typical strange things. They're stranger than what you're normally used to dealing with, and they go a step beyond of what you're usually dealing with, which also is incorporated in the writing. That helps describe these characters a lot more.
Right. Exactly. So with that being said, let's go to the next section. Is themes and symbolisms that always show up in Stranger Things, but specifically this season. The theme for this season, and Duffers even brought that up. The theme for this season is memory as a battlefield, right? Basically, their core idea is your past isn't done with you until you are done with it.
Yes.
Right. That is the theme of this particular season. Episode 4s reinforce unresolved trauma. If you've seen the episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. It reinforces unresolved trauma, guilt that resurfaces, emotional fractures between characters.
That was never dealt with.
The past bleeding into the supernatural present.
So the past will come back and haunt you.
Right, exactly. The past will come back and haunt you. So, and then they have the upside down mirror technique. The Duffer Brothers' specialty is a real world argument echoes into the upside down. A lie in Hawkins creates instability in the supernatural realm. Emotional noise becomes literal danger. So they write the show like the upside down is a reflection of unspoken pain, basically. And you can see that when they always have which is it's funny because the finale is called The Right Side Up. That's the name of the finale when it actually airs. Section the set piece. So they as you can see there's something on on Netflix where they do like behind the scenes of this entire big set piece for this episode. It's the episode soul. This on screen thing, I mean, this big old set piece that they did for the climax of the episode. So every major Stranger Things season has a defining emotional set piece. For instance, in season 4, Max running from Vecna, right? Dear Billy, that episode, Dear Billy, when Max was running from, that whole set piece was so intricately designed and stuff like that. That's when the whole running up that hill and all that stuff started happening. But at one point she was at the same time she was at the cemetery, I guess. But in the upside down or in the whatever, she was in whatever area that was that she was running from. Season 2, Will's exorcism moment. Season 3, 11 at the cabin. These are all like physical set pieces that they rely on to kind of help drive the emotional arc. So when you look at that last scene, that big grand scene where they did a very wonderful what we call in the business a oneer, the scene where Mike is leading the group out and he's the one who stepped up. Remember, we said a character always steps up. He was the step up character at that moment and was pretty much leading the group, saying, everybody get behind me, and leading a group of kids. And during that scene, they did a one shot that lasted. It felt like it lasted forever. It was really well done. And they showed the behind the scenes on how so many moving parts was going at the same time. So the construction of the set piece, the purpose of the set piece, it must change the status quo. Meaning it's got to raise the stakes. It's got to, have you like what I'm doing now. You see how I'm wooing and ahhing over it? That's what it has to do. It had me going crazy, the fact that it has all of these things going on, right? And it also must push the villain closer, which we had that. It's got to make you feel like all is lost, because every writing, as all writers know, you have to have that all is lost moment of that comes no matter what, as part of a writing beat, right? The all is lost moment. It's right before the hero will emerge again. So that's what that's about. We witnessed that there. Finally, last point, what writers can learn from this episode? Well, number one, raise your stakes without raising scale. You don't need you do not need a bigger monster. You need to develop a deeper emotional wound. So it's not, don't take everything so literal. Yes, Stranger Things has monsters, but the monsters are not what's the danger in Stranger Things. Number 2, parallel storylines must converge emotionally. Even if characters are separated, their arcs must point toward the same truth. Pressure leads to action, right? Or pressure over action, sorry. Audiences feel tense, and they feel more tense from things like lies, misunderstandings, emotional distance, than from explosions. You see what I'm saying? Because when you emotionally are invested in this, you'll get more angry than if something just explodes. Yeah, explosions are great, and you find a way to fit those in. But make sure this is just for, from the writers.
Well, also with that point, explosions aren't supposed to really make you feel any kind of way. An explosion is just that, an explosion. It's supposed to.
Explosion happens if an explosion happens to a character that you care about, it is supposed to make you feel the type of way.
No, but I mean, but it's all supposed to make you feel the type of way that the character feels. duck and run for cover. Now, if it kills the character, that's different. That's the emotional context that you need to put towards it. If you're talking about an explosion, you got to put that context to it. Is it an explosion that happens to a character and it makes them run away and they still live, or is it a character that lays on the grenade and gets blown up?
Right.
We got the context has to be put in place with that, or else the explosion doesn't get paid off. It's just an explosion.
Yeah.
Even if it's metaphorically written, it has to be some kind of context put towards it, in my opinion, anyway.
So, the last point. So, great storytellers always what should know is you cannot go into the back half of a season with the same relationships you started. If you go through all good series, you always have that. The good series do not have that, put it that way. And what I mean by relationship, that's not in a literal sense, meaning, oh, I was with this person, now I'm with this person. A relationship can change between the same people, but it has to change or evolve. The supernatural should reflect the internal. That's the beating heart of Stranger Things. This is why the show works, right? Stranger Things proves once again that why the Duffer Brothers are some of the strongest storytellers in modern television. Episode 4 isn't where the season changes, it's where the characters change. And when the characters shift, and when do the characters shift? The world shifts with them when the characters shift. And this is the main. This is hopefully what I'm gonna post a lot of this stuff too for people who may have came in on the end of this segment or watched it or maybe didn't watch it, and they'll be able to understand a little more of just some key points that you could take from the Duffers, because we ain't gonna have them from long, not on Netflix at least. They're leaving Netflix and they're actually going to Paramount. So they're gonna be working with Paramount making films. So that is the Duffers. Before we that was my segment for Inside the Writers Room. Before we get out of here, let's go over and touch on the Golden Globe nominations have come out. I know that Sinners has got, I think, 7 nominations, and there's a lot of them that got some nominations. So I'll just go over the brief ones. Best Motion Picture, we have Sinners got a nomination. Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident. I don't know, what is Neon? What is this? Is that a network? I don't even know what Neon is. But that's the parentheses that I'm saying. I guess this is a streamer. And Hamnet, who's been getting a lot of that's been getting a lot of praise and publicity.
You mean Hamlet?
No, it's called Hamnet. That's the name of it. Hamnet. Yeah. But it is.
Oh, maybe I read it wrong. Okay, I read it wrong.
No, but it does have something to do with Hamlet. Like the I don't know exactly. I saw it, and I even saw the trailer, but I ain't gonna lie, I was a little confused. I was like, why is it called Hamlet?
It's something about the guy that actually created.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He made it, and his relationship with this girl.
That part. Yeah, that part. It's about him. It's about the guy. It's about Hamlet.
It's about Hamlet, okay. but it's not about William Shakespeare.
No, it's about Hamlet.
Maybe William Shakespeare took this story and made it Hamlet.
No, I think somebody took the story of William Shakespeare and made it Hamlet.
Maybe. Yeah. So and Frankenstein is nominated from.
Oh, it absolutely should. And if you have not seen Frankenstein, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. That movie was phenomenal. It was phenomenally written. It was masterfully directed, and it's a shame. This is one of those instances where Netflix dropped the ball of having a movie in theaters where they could have won some extra Box office money.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
I shouldn't have laughed, but
best motion picture.
No, but that's a good laugh.
Netflix, of course. K-pop Demon Hunters is nominated. Zootopia 2 is nominated.
That was in theaters. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think
K-pop Demon Hunters was in theaters. It was. Elio. We got 2 from Walt Disney Pictures, Elio and Zootopia 2. Then you got Demon Slayer, which is from Aniplex.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got
that's another anime movie.
Right, that's from Sony Pictures Entertainment. K-pop Demon Hunters, Netflix, and yeah. So you have that cinematic box office achievement. I don't even know what the hell that is. That's just, I guess, how much they sold. Cinematic box office achievement.
Then why is Avatar there? It hasn't even come out yet. It didn't even come out yet.
Well, it's good. Well, no, you got to remember, Ralph. It's not going to come out yet because it's only been screened by those of the guild.
But it's called cinematic and box office achievement.
Box office. It ain't grossed $1. It hasn't grossed $1 yet. Not $1.
We know it's gonna gross a lot of money. Box office.
Even still,
what are they doing? Now F1, I can see that being there. That made some money. K-pop Demon Hunters made money. Mission Impossible made some money. Didn't make as much as they thought it would. Sinners made money. Weapons made money. Wicked for Good made money. Zootopia made a whole lot of money. You saw that?
Wait a minute. I gotta say something. And the wicked people are going to be mad at me. But I don't care. I saw Wicked for Good. All right. I like the movie a lot, but I have some head scratching questions because I saw the play. The Wicked play itself does not deal with the Wizard of Oz. It doesn't.
That's the point. The point is not to cut you off.
Not even that. Ain't even the point. That ain't even where I'm going. I got that. Okay. This is your different interpretation of the Wizard of Oz, which but what had me scratching my head is this: Elphaba was getting laid, and after she got laid, she heard her sister crying her name when the house comes down on her. Sorry, spoiler alert. I don't remember. So you're saying that the whole Wizard of Oz was based on because Elphaba had to get laid? Is that what you're implying?
No.
Really?
No.
Think about this.
For me, the whole Wizard of Oz is. I mean, they covered that in the second part of this movie because, I mean, like you said, it may not have been covered in the play, but I mean,
even in the first movie, it's a continuation. This movie is
not even going beyond this movie.
But what I'm saying is this. When the house was coming down in this version, when the house was coming down onto her sister, her sister is calling for Elphaba. Elphaba would have been there, but Elphaba was getting laid. That's why the whole. So basically, you're saying if she didn't get laid, she would have saved her sister, and the whole Wizard of Oz thing with Dorothy on them never would have happened because Dorothy never would have had the ruby shoes. And in the movie, they're not even ruby; they're clear shoes. So
exactly. So there is no, and that might be why the shoes turned to red.
Maybe. But I had me scratching my head. I said, wait a minute. So you're saying the whole thing with Dorothy coming to kill her is because she was getting laid?
Originally, I said from before all of this stuff before they ever wrote any of this other stuff, I said all the way back in the day when the Wizard of Oz used to come on, I always said the villain of this movie is Glinda.
Glinda, yeah.
I said Glinda. I said because regardless of why or how that happened, they're giving you context on that. That's what they wrote.
But the whole thing was why was the Wicked Witch the Wicked Witch?
Right.
It was
Right.
it was never explained back in the day.
That's right. And then what happens is, okay, the Witch of the East dies. Dorothy's house lands on it. That happens, and Dorothy's trying to get out of the damn Oz all that time, wearing the shoes that she could have got out 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
Glinda
part.
never told her why, because she wanted all of her ops out of the way. So,
and those 2 points, I'm glad. First of all, in Wicked, Elphaba's sister is not even a witch. She doesn't have any powers. Glinda doesn't have any powers.
Glinda ain't got no powers. She's
so
a fake.
How you gonna call? She's a fake. But in the Wizard of Oz, she certainly does. But in this one, she has no powers.
She appears to. She appears to, because even in this one, to the people, she appears to have
power, but she doesn't really have any power.
So, the fact of the matter is, because if you so bad and you a witch, how come you couldn't send me home? You saying I was wearing I'm wearing the stuff that could send me home all this time. So you had me go through all this. I
for nothing.
A wicked witch of the East just coming here. Then you send me on a mission to see the wizard. The wizard then sends me to kill the wicked witch of the West, bring her broom back. Then the wizard tries, you find out he's a fake. Another person who ain't got no powers.
Yeah.
He's a fake. He freaking flies out of here on the damn balloon. And now think about it. Everyone is gone that could
except Glinda.
Everyone that could oppose Glinda is gone. Witch of the West is dead. East is dead.
The wizard is gone.
Yeah. There's no one that can oppose her. She can rule Oz the way she wants to.
And
which is her point, which has been her point all along. But also there's the other point to show you that even though she's green, it goes to show you that what do we try to do? Steal everything from black people. And I'll leave it at that.
That's funny.
Don't get me wrong. Wicked for Good is a good movie. It's not as good as the first one. Right. But it doesn't. It's good. It's a solid movie. It's just not as solid as the first one, but it's a solid movie. But the bringing of the Wizard of Oz into it. Let me phrase that. Bringing up the Dorothy and the lion, all stuff like you gave me the explanation of where the Cowardly Lion comes from, where the Tin Man comes from, where the Scarecrow comes from. You gave me all that backstory. You never really showed Dorothy's face. They don't show Dorothy's face at all, right? You only see her from the back or the side. You never actually see her face. But I was just saying, wait a minute, what? That's all I kept saying. Was like, what?
Yeah, that's funny.
But I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. I know I did say a major. Well, I don't know if it's a big plot point what I just said.
No, I mean
it could be a spoiler. But I mean, it's grossed almost $300 million in 2 weeks. If you ain't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you,
man. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people. So yeah, man. But
Wesley Burton, you dropped out.
Oh,
yeah, repeat your point that you just said. You dropped out.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So basically, I think I saw that Sinners had 7 nominations for Golden Globes. That includes Best Director. That includes Michael B. Jordan, Best Actor. That includes score for Ludwig. That includes best
Ludwig always gets best score for any Ryan Coogler movie.
That guy, man. I Lied to You for best song. That's the one that Sammy sung during the big, Warner sequence. Best screenplay, Ryan Coogler. And I think that's about it. But surprising, I don't know if I don't see anything about cinematography at all from the Golden Globes. So maybe they don't cover that.
I don't think they cover cinematography.
Yeah, they don't. I'm looking at it now.
I think Wumi, if I'm saying her name, Wumi Mosaka, she was robbed of a Best Supporting Actress. I think she was robbed. She should have been in there.
Yeah. Wumi Musaka. Yeah. I was surprised. I actually also feel that Delroy Lindo should have got a best.
Absolutely. I think he got robbed twice because I think he got robbed in that Soldier movie too.
Oh yeah.
The one, the Spike Lee movie.
Yes, he did. He got robbed.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, I feel bad about that. Both of them I think should have been considered for supporting roles.
I think in the case of Sinners though, I think his character is the strength of his character placement was not, I guess it wasn't viewed as strong by people, but I don't see how it couldn't have been. I mean, from the point of when they were in the car.
Oh yeah, he was part of the soul of that movie. He really brought a lot of heart to the movie, and then he had the big climax where he sacrificed himself basically to save the whole group.
Can you say that again?
This dude he put himself on display, sacrificed himself for the entire group. He said, so I mean, he was the heart. He was a lot of the comic relief of it. He brought moments. He brought funny moments to moments that, right after a not so funny moment,
Even when he was questioning homeboy why he wasn't at the door when he should have been at the door.
Yep, he had a lot of great moments. A lot of one-liners came from his character. A lot of them. So
again, people just not watching the movie. And go ahead, Ralph. Sorry.
Do you think Haley got gypped out of a Best Supporting Actress?
No, because she was trying too much. She was trying too hard.
I think she did a good job, but I don't think her character, in my opinion, was that impactful of a character.
That part. Okay, yeah, I'll change what I said to that part.
To the overall story, she was great for what her character represented, and she did a good job as her character. But I think in the overall story, plot of it all, her character isn't that impactful or as impactful as some of the other ones.
Yeah, like, it had its place for the time period set in the structure of the time period. It had its place as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, there's no female lead in this movie, but if there was, I would say that it's Wumi. She's the first voice you hear in the whole movie. The first voice you hear is her talking about there are legends and this and that. That's her. So if there was a lead female, which there isn't, but if there was a lead female in this film, it would be her.
It would be her.
You know what I mean? She her character is, without her character, this group doesn't eat. Well, the group didn't survive anyway, but nobody survives without her. Without
nobody. Nobody. She gave you the breakdown of what a vampire is. You wouldn't even know what a vampire is.
Yeah, no one. Not for her. Remember, we're dealing in a world where, not that they didn't know what vampires did, but people just say, I don't think that exists. I don't believe that. So, and they didn't know. They're like, what are these people? What do they do? How do we kill them? So, yeah, I agree with you that I don't believe that Shirley got good. I think Shirley did good for what she did. All of the characters were written very well, and they all served their purpose. But and some people make the argument about Sammy. I understand the argument is made about Sammy. The impact.
Oh, Wes, you're dropping out again. I don't know if it's me or.
I don't know.
There you go.
What's happening, Wes?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what was happening, but some people made the argument that maybe Sammy was the impact character. He was obviously not the main character, but he was the impact character of the film. Obviously the story was pretty much told from his perspective. You know what I mean? Which usually that makes you a main character. But
in this case, it was so much going on, and
yeah,
so much. The movie was so spread out amongst all the characters, you really couldn't designate a main character,
yeah.
really, to a degree.
It was just, it's one of those, like we said, it's a genre bending film. So it broke a lot of rules,
Hmm.
typical rules, and
Shit even broke
everything.
vampire rules.
It broke everything. It broke vampire, it broke writing rules. It broke filming rules. Only rules it didn't break were cinematography rules. It didn't break any of those. It didn't have awkward shots. It had beautiful shots, but it didn't have no one broke the line. No one broke any of that stuff. So it was good. But yeah, so
I think if anything, on that perspective, I think they kind of enhanced on the cinematography shot perspective in some instances.
I believe Autumn Arkapaw, who is the cinematographer, I believe she is going to get an Oscar. Definitely an Oscar
Oh, she absolutely
nomination.
should.
I believe
Yeah.
she's going to get the Oscar for cinematography. Number one, cinematographers in the Academy are going to vote on this, and they all respect the fact that she handled that IMAX camera,
Yo,
which is a very heavy, bulky camera, and it's a loud camera. It's very loud. It's not
The
like
big
any other
camera.
cameras. It's big and it's loud. And the fact that she handled that shit like it was, what I'm saying? She killed it. They're gonna a lot of people respect her for that. And she did a great job. I mean, the movie is gorgeous. The movie is beautiful.
shit, you know what she was doing before this movie was even shot. As soon as they nominated her, she went right to the gym, started doing squats and shoulder presses,
Yeah,
doing everything she needed to do to make sure she can handle that camera.
She said in one of the interviews when she spoke to Ryan and they came up with the idea of shooting it on this format, she was obviously excited to tackle it. And it's awesome, man. People, so I think she will, and I feel it's a tragedy. It's a travesty if she doesn't get the Oscar, the actual win. In my opinion, she's definitely gonna get the nomination. Though. We all know how we already know what Ludwig do. He do what he do. He gonna get that nomination.
Yeah, he got that already. Shit, all you gotta do is say his name during the Oscar year, and they're gonna nominate him whether he got a film or not.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't got nothing. Oh, we'll make something up for him. Ludwig is that guy, man.
Yeah, Ludwig's that guy, man. But there you have it. We appreciate everybody that came through. Of course, Tony. People that came through to the chat rooms. We always appreciate y'all.
And again, I apologize to our audience, for my behavior 2 episodes ago. I will try not to let that happen again. No promises.
No promises. Hey, try. No. We're the Jedi Council. You know what I gotta hit you with. Try not, do, or do not. There is no try.
Try.
I've been on my Yoda kick. I've been rewatching the original trilogy, and I still love it. I still love it to death. Rewatching the original trilogy.
How could you be watching Star Wars at a time of Christmas?
Since you said that, I gotta ask a question. All right, because this is a rumor that they're going to put Star Wars back out in theaters in 2027 for its 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
However, the rumor is they're going to put out the original version of Star Wars, not the special editions, the original version.
Okay.
Which is what they should do. Yes.
What was your question? Well,
should they actually go back and take out all the stuff for the special edition? That means taking out not only the special edition stuff, but also the actual title of A New Hope, yanking it out and putting it back in the same way we all saw it in 1977.
Well, they don't have to do that. It's already done.
Should they do that, or no? That's the rumor that they're going to put it back out in the way that it actually was.
They absolutely should. They absolutely should do it. Why you What's the purpose of having an anniversary edition that's going to be screened in theaters if not being shown the way it was shown back in the day when it was
from a marketing standpoint, it kind of makes sense too, because it's gonna at least. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. In 1977, I was 2 years old, so I didn't see it in the theaters. So I didn't see it when it first came out. I mean, I saw it later on, on whatever video or whatever. I saw it. I never witnessed the first.
Yeah, we saw it at RKO theaters. We saw it.
The original version.
Yeah, I saw it. He's not the same age as us, Ralph.
I was 2 years old when it came out.
He took it. There's no way.
1975.
I was 6 when I first saw it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I did see. So now someone like myself, even from our generation, that's from on my age, I would definitely want to see what it looked like when it first came out. Just for a little bit. I mean, we got all these special editions anyway, so we can watch.
Yeah, and why see a special edition when we can see the original? And I was 7 years old, and I saw it at the RKO Theater and Rockville Center. Anybody who remembers those theaters back in the day, the RKO cinemas, one of the oldest cinemas from back in the day. So I would be, I would be ecstatic to see it how it originally was, and I can't even remember it if I'm being honest.
I don't know.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it cleaned up.
Why don't you want that, Ralph?
Because now you are so used to and this is for me. You are so used to not only the special edition, because now special edition is going on 20 years, but even the advent of it being called The New Hope. When you actually bought the VHS tape when it came out, it says A New Hope, right? The original version of Star Wars doesn't say A New Hope. It just says, the scroll just starts. It doesn't say episode 4 or none of that. It just says it's a time of galactic war. So take that away.
Because Ralph, you got to remember, when they did that, it's because they had no expectation of that this film was going to turn into what it turned into.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is that it is just that if this was something that came out a couple of years ago, maybe I could sit there and say, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing how it was moved. But we're talking about this movie that's like 50 years old, and more importantly, if it never had a special edition, right, and they re-released the actual movie the way it originally was, that's a different story. But you now have a special edition, and what I also found is that every time they re-release the Star Wars trilogy, the two bookends, the prequels, they always keep making minor changes in it that you don't pick up, but they keep making changes in it. So
yeah, that's true.
So it's never going to be the original way that it was when we all saw it in the theater. Even if you look at the Phantom Menace and stuff, it's not. There's changes in the Phantom Menace that when you saw it in the theaters, when you see it on DVD, then when it went to Blu-ray, they changed it. Like they changed
those subtle changes. But I mean, I don't think because it is the 50th anniversary. This is coming from a person who has not seen the very original in the theater. I personally, from my perspective, I don't see a problem. I don't have a problem with it because it's the 50th anniversary. If you want to actually show what it was when it came out in the theaters, so people can experience that, I think a lot of people will take to that. I don't think people are going to not, like especially the Star Wars fans. I don't think they're going to shy away from it and be like, nah, because we got the other stuff, but we got that stuff. We already have it. We want to watch it. We watch it. And it gives you a little bit of something to come to the theater for, just even if it's just to compare, or even if it's just to say, oh, Oh wow, that's what it looked like. That's how it
Yeah,
looked
and
like.
I think it gives you an appreciation. It gives you more an appreciation of where technology has become movie
Right.
wise versus
Yeah.
where it was.
What I thought they were gonna do at one point, and it was just pure speculation. I said, you know what I would like them to do if they're gonna make any more changes to the original trilogies, go back and change them lightsaber fights because
That
the first 3 episodes in chronological order, they were much better lightsaber fighters than they
Well,
was
yeah,
in those of course we
that
know it,
makes
but that's what I'm saying. That's if you was
no,
gonna change
no.
or
I'm
update
saying
something, update the lightsaber fight.
no, but that's what I'm saying. In theory, it does make sense that when Ben and Vader have the lightsaber fight in A New Hope, that they're slower. There's no one for them to practice against anymore. When you go back to the original, the prequels, they're fighting all the time.
All the time, yeah.
But
Yep.
now you got a 20-something year gap in between Attack of the Clones and New War. So of course they're slower.
Thanks to Vader.
Thanks to Vader. But even Vader is slower because he's got nobody left to fight. Who's gonna fight? But then you slow. But now think about it. But when Empire comes on, he's a little faster. When Jedi comes out, he's a lot faster. But in New Hope, he's slow, which is the progression that you want. No, okay, I ain't got nobody to fight no more. But now that I had a little taste of it, now I'm getting back. I'm getting back to feeling it.
But he still always practices the Force, though.
I mean,
So
you're 100% right on that with the lightsabering and so I'm just saying, period. Even if we fast forward to Jedi, you know, I mean, it was great for its time. It was great for it. I'm just saying, like if you take Jedi's final fight and put it against Revenge of the Sith final fight, they don't even compare. Like they don't even compare. It's as far as technique and stuff like that. And that's all. And we know why. I'm not bragging on it. I love it for what it is. But I'm just saying, if you're a the reason why a lot of the newcomers, we'll call them, that's why I never tell people to watch it in chronological order, because they'll get to the original trilogy and feel underwhelmed because of all of the stuff that went on in the first 3, you know, from a standpoint of fighting and battling and force wielding and lightsaber fighting for sure. They may feel a little underwhelmed when they get to the original trilogies, obviously, because they were done 20 some odd, 30 whatever years beforehand.
This is the reason why they had to clean it up. But now, if you're going to
adding Anakin
now, here's what
like that at the end, young Anakin and like that.
Now here's where I will agree with what you're saying, Ralph. I will agree with what you're saying if they're going into the case of point of what Wes was just saying.
Yeah.
If you're going to show it as a back-to-back trilogy, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to show it like that, then obviously you have to clean it up. It has to match.
Nah, it has to match. You got to put it all out there. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. I'm going to wrap it up
2
here
years.
and thank all right, and thank everybody for sticking with us, joining with us. Everybody over there on Instagram, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. This is going to be a conversation that's going to evolve over and over and over again, unfortunately, until something is resolved, and we don't know how it's going to end, but we'll go from there. We'll keep y'all posted on it. And of course, like I said, thanks to all of our guests and all of us here at Real Talk. I just wanted to point out, we will be doing our tournament, guys. I've gotten a few comments on that. I won't go into it, but the tournament's probably gonna, we may end up pushing it to next year, start of next year, start it off right, and go from there.
I need more time, because I've actually, since you're bringing this up, I actually went ahead and did it, right?
Yeah.
However, I have problems because there's
when don't you ever have problems?
There are too many mothers to pick from to make a really good 64. If I make some people off,
well, we'll discuss this off air,
offline. Yeah,
we will definitely see y'all next time. We'll bring it. Give us a little time. That's why we'll probably just do the tournament next year. Love us, hate us, don't forget about us. Peace. If this deal holds up, Netflix will control the past, present, and maybe even the future of storytelling. From the Warner Brothers archives to the AI systems built to revive them. Unions fear job losses. Theaters fear extinction. Regulators fear monopoly. And fans just want great stories. The question is now simple. Did Netflix save Warner Brothers? Or did Netflix save itself by owning the last great catalog in Hollywood? And for the first time in history, the battle for cinema's soul will not take place in the theaters, but in the cloud. As always, drop your thoughts in the comments, like, share, and subscribe to the IE Network. For the Jedi Council, I'm the director. This is Real Talk. And as we always say, you can love us, you can hate us, but don't ever forget about us. Good night.
Don't you forget about me.